Wow, what is up, my beautiful people? I think Luke Daly is involved too. Shout out to Sleuth Intuition for his work on checking into this guy. That's where I got it. The information was from Pitbull. It was from. I sent him an email to ask him if I could use it, but he hasn't gotten back to me. So I'm claiming fair use. But Sleuth Intuition is where I got the picture of Luke Daly. So go sub up to his channel. Looks like a good channel. Looks pretty awesome. Mrs. Mab is doing the treats for the animals right now. She'll be here shortly. And hey, Jim, what's up? Donna Clark, my beautiful mod. What else do we got? Jim Survival, Angel Salatino. That's good. Angel Salatino. That's cool. Yeah, wow. Lots of stuff going on with this case. It's Pitbull Mom 2015 in Bloomington, Indiana. This is Pitbull Mom 2015 in Bloomington, Indiana. My dad went to college in Bloomington, Indiana. Isn't that where Purdue is? Purdue University is there, right? Luke Daly lives with his mom. He killed a mother, and then he goes home to his mom. Unbelievable. Jan Anderson, 97, 94. How you doing? Ryan the Gamer, what's up? Oh, IU, University of Indiana University. My mom lives in Muncie. Who's back of the Range Rover? Yeah, what is in back of it? Please watch NC Anonymous from Friday. You'll see clearly what's in back of the Range Rover. Joyce, what's NC Anonymous? Can you spell it out for me or drop a link in the chat, maybe? Good to see you, Ryan the Gamer. Okay, let's add the beautiful, the lovely, the fantastic Mrs. Spade. And there she is. Drop a link in the chat, maybe?
I can't. I'm trying to.
What's that clankety clanking?
That's Lucas.
Oh my God. What did you feed him?
I put your plate on the floor for him to lick
Oh,
it.
great. So his collar's slapping.
He's going to be done in a minute.
Ball State's in Muncie. That's where my mom went to school there, too. Purdue's is West Lafayette. My dad went to Purdue. My mom went to Ball State and Anderson University, or whatever it is over there. I was born in Anderson. I lived there for 15 years. And then I moved to my dad moved to California and abandoned me. I came out here for a visit and never went home. It took me 20 years. It's you of twins. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. Mr. Michigan, what's up? G of twins, everybody. I thought I had a background up here that was.
You do.
Can you see it? Oh, I see it down here, but I don't. I have it, but you don't have it.
No, I can see your background.
No, but it's not your background, though. It should be the background of the whole thing, right?
I don't know. No, because my background is my iPad background.
Let me see.
I don't know, but I have my
virtual background.
Just living room background here.
That's my virtual background, but I guess everybody has their own when they come into the studio, I guess. Okay. So if I was by myself, it would look like this.
Yeah.
What is in the back of that card? Dang it.
Sheriff's back there doing what they're doing.
The only time I've ever seen.
Somehow mine just moved. You got me.
Yeah, you're You
Your
need to adjust
view
your
of
iPad
me changed because you can see the blinds now. That's weird.
because your iPad shifted. You're
But I
not
didn't.
centered. The other way. No, there, right. You're centered right
Well,
there.
I.
Got to move it.
That's so weird. I got to move my chair.
Counterintuitive.
I know. I'm always backwards. Okay.
Narcotics Anonymous.
There.
NC Anonymous. Is that a YouTube channel?
I'm looking at chat. There's a lot of people in here. Good evening, Ryan the Gamer. Pitbull
NC
Mom,
Anonymous.
Donna Clark, Joy,
Luna Moon.
3M, Mandy.
Mandy. What's up?
Lots of people in here. Happy Friday,
Yeah.
or not Friday, happy Sunday. And I don't have to work tomorrow. Oh my God, that never happens. I mean, we have most of the paid holidays, but nice.
Well, I was late coming live because right at 7 o'clock, Natasha Cooper. I'm writing that down.
The what happened?
So can somebody just tell me what was in the back of the damn Range Rover? It had to be Nancy or the gear that he used or something like that. What was
It's
in the
not
back?
Nancy. They would have said if it was Nancy.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I think they would have.
Happy belated Valentine's Day to all of you guys.
Oh yeah, yesterday was V-Day.
Brad Rangoon, what's up? I was on Dolly's live, but I sent him that picture of Luke because I think that guy, okay, he's perfect match for the guy in the video. He was the subject,
Oh, George.
lives in the house that was the subject of the search warrant. He owns the Range Rover. I mean, it wasn't a body. They said burglary tools. Okay, that makes sense. The backpack full of crap to break in places. But why would they put a NC Anonymous 25? What's he want in here for? I want to show him. This is my kitty. Every time I pick up the kitty,
It's my kitty.
I pick up this kitty and he just goes limp. Every muscle in his body is limp.
Oh, you can't see his foot. Look at his little feet. Oh, he's so friggin' cute. That's my baby Joe.
I mean, he just goes limp.
Baby Joe Bear.
He's a limp boy.
Kitty, I know, he's the best.
I know.
Yeah,
Angela.
I think if it was Nancy, they would have said something. I mean, I haven't been following this as much as Mab has been and all that good stuff, but I think if they found Nancy, that would have been the first thing that they said. So I don't know.
My virtual background makes me kind of. The guy in the video works out or rides a bicycle. Mark my words, man. His thighs and ass are of a bicyclist, or he does squats. No, I wasn't looking. Guy in the video. Okay. So you're a bicyclist. She was in a bicyclist club. What's the physique of a bicyclist? Skinny and freaking strong legs, right? Calves. Mrs. Mab?
When I met you, I used to cycle, but I mean, for the most part, cyclists are thin and long and lean, but not everybody that cycles is built that way. But yeah, you got to have some strong legs for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I was late is because Baby Mab called right at 7 o'clock crying. You didn't know?
No.
She was in tears. Tyler's gotten attacked by a pit bull and he got bit in the face and he's in the hospital.
Tyler?
Yes, you didn't know?
No.
You had your earplugs in and you didn't know what the hell was going on.
No.
Tyler has been bitten by a pit bull, his mother's pit bull, and he's going to need plastic surgery. And they're moving
He
him.
got bitten. Remember, he got bitten in the face like 3 years ago by a lab and had to have surgery?
Yes.
What the hell? Sorry. Oh my God.
I don't know, man.
Pitbull. I mean, I'm sorry. I know one of my friends, Colleen, used to have a pit bull, Lacey, and Lacey was a very good dog. But almost every story you hear about some kind of vicious something dog, it's a friggin' pit bull.
No, it's my daughter, Jim. It's my daughter. She's 31, I think.
But her boyfriend, so I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, they were camping for Father's Day, and somebody brought a Labrador, like a nice dog. But I guess this particular lab was a little skittish, and Baby Mab's boyfriend got close to this dog, and the dog bit him in the face. And luckily, there was a nurse camping with them, and the nurse dressed him a little bit, but they ended up in the ER. He had this dog, he could have lost his eye. The dog bit him like right here, and he had like 15 stitches right by his eye. Whoever stitched him up did a fabulous job because he had no scarring or anything. You couldn't even tell. But
Well, he got attacked again.
oh my God.
That's why we were late. Tyler is my Baby Mab's significant other. They're going to get married.
They're going to get married. I don't know why they're not married already, but these millennials, that's not a priority.
Millennials don't like to make commitments. Crazy.
See, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of pit bulls are very, very sweet.
Yeah, but I guess he's territorial, and Baby Mab was on the bed.
I need to text her.
Tyler was like petting on the dog and got too close to his face, and you know how they just go whip, like Lucas did to Maria. Pat Gaines says hello, Mrs. Mab.
So, honey, are they in the emergency room?
Yes, they're transferring them to Kaiser. They're in Redwood City right now.
Oh,
wherever
I'm sorry, I'm texting her because I didn't know. Just really quick, I just want to say hi.
Yeah, prayers for Tyler. I love him. Okay, well, let's.
Okay, hang on. I want to message her real quick.
All right, I'm going to start. There's a name for the past, Luna Moon, from 4 years ago on Dolly Vision panels, like he's paneling right now. I should jump up there from my live. That would be funny. I'm live right now and you're live. I think when you do that, you can like see like the windows and the mirrors where it goes forever. I think it looks like that. Jamie K, what's up? Good to see you. Let's play Brian Enton's latest deal, which you guys probably already seen, but what the hell? Share screen. Number 71.
Okay, sorry guys. I just had to text Lala.
Ready?
So much for checking out my show. I really, really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. It is Saturday. Been here almost 2 weeks. I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house. Just kind of found like a quiet place up here off the main drag to talk to you guys.
I forgot. Is Brian gay? I think he is.
Who?
Brian Enton.
And I kind of wanted to go over everything new that I've learned today in relation to what happened last night. You guys remember last night was this crazy, basically SWAT raid that
That's what's crazy to me is why do you send the whole damn cavalry out to to question 3 people. Do you have a favorite cream? Nina Drew says. Nina Drew, the goat. Nina Drew's the goat of YouTube subs. Can you hear me, honey?
Yeah,
Oh, Nina was asking you a question.
I'm sorry. I was answering Mr. Michigan. I think he was joking, but he said, dogs know people. Tell baby Mab to run. And I'm like, no, Mr. Michigan. I said, Mr. Moshigan. I don't have my glasses on.
Mr. Mostigan.
No, baby Mab's boyfriend is awesome. He's a great dude. It's just, I don't know what it is with him and dogs. He must just get right in their face or something.
Crazy. It's insane.
Message me.
We were watching television this night right here where he saw the guy get the dead guy that was hit by the car or truck, and he freaked him out. And we thought that it was somebody that did it to themselves, and that leaked out, and the whole internet went nuts. Sheriff is an idiot, yes. He's a micromanager, according to the undersheriff. So, and let's see if we can do this again. Okay. Let's continue.
I got in the middle of. There were 2 people
Oh, yeah. Brian Entons happens to be the only one that got inside the perimeter.
detained at a house about 2 miles from here, 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's house. A man and a woman. It's my understanding that it was a mom and son. They went to the house with the SWAT team. It was a massive presence, and the man and the woman, again, I believe it's a mom and a son from what I'm hearing, came out, and there was no issue. They basically, came out, didn't resist at all, and were questioned. And then at the same time, there was a traffic stop very close by outside of Culver's, which is like a fast food place, where another man was stopped and detained. And
that man lived in the same house as the mother and whatever, right? Did you say mother and daughter?
questioned, and that person also has a connection back to the house where where the other 2 were detained, where the SWAT team
That's
was.
Luke.
So
we're talking about Luke. Luke, you torn here watching Chris?
New today,
Watching Chris.
I am learning from the sheriff. I was texting with the sheriff this morning.
Yeah, the interview room. I love him. I'd probably be watching him if I wasn't watching myself.
The Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos. He said that
you can rewatch.
There were no arrests.
Stay here, Nina. You can rewatch Chris later.
That they were working off of a lead, that's what started all of this, and that they have not located Nancy Guthrie. And I learned later in the day that it was a federal search warrant that they were conducting at that house, which makes sense to me because I saw a ton of FBI there, and then I saw even more FBI arrive about an hour after the initial SWAT teams arrived.
So you got 30 to 40 cops plus the FBI. So you're talking 100 people. Mrs. Fred, a blast from the past. Mrs. Fred.
Mrs. Fred.
You remember her?
Of course I do.
She's the one that makes all those stuff for the teams and stuff.
And it was a federal search warrant, which I'm going to talk to Steve Moore, my friend who's a retired FBI agent who has done a ton of these search warrants in his career, about sort of what he sees, what stands out to him about what happened last night, but how that connects into all of this. So I'll keep you posted. Also, there was a Range Rover.
That's the Range Rover that Luke Daley owns. Okay. This is the one that they were putting the sheet up so you couldn't, the tarp up so you couldn't see what was inside.
Which is interesting. That was also close to where the traffic stop was. That was processed by the FBI very, very carefully and then towed away. And we're trying to find out the relevance of that and how that connects into all of this. So I'll keep you posted on all of that. I'm joined now by Steve Moore, retired FBI agent. It's nice to see you, Steve. I'm still in Arizona, right near Nancy's house right now. But I was really anxious to talk to you because, we were out all night, basically following the SWAT team around. We were being respectful. We stayed back, but we ended up in the perimeter where they went into that house, brought a man and a woman out. I believe it was a mother and son. They came out willingly. There was no flashbangs. There was no.
So I think Daly is the other son.
Like use of force. And then there was another traffic stop close by where a man was detained. So there were 3 people total detained, questioned, and no arrests.
So they spent $1 million. What is he saying, Jane? Janderson. JLR is blasting wrong names all over the internet. Was he saying what was the name that he was putting out? Because somebody in Dolly's chat told me the guy that I was showing wasn't Luke.
I texted with the sheriff this morning and he said, we were following up on leads, no arrests, and we still haven't found Nancy. So what do you make of it? Because we saw this happen with the Carlos guy from Rio Rico. What do you think is going on here?
There's something about whatever these 2 situations showed law enforcement. There's something about them that fit their theory of the crime or theory of the suspect is my guess. If it could be somebody's come up with a profile and both of these guys both of these residences they hit had a mom with her son living with her. So maybe we've got a profile that we're looking for somebody with a certain criminal background or not, who's living with their mom at home. I've seen profiles specifically that said you'll be living with the mom and not the dad. I've even seen one that says he used to live with his mom, but now he's living with an aunt because the mom and he couldn't even live together. They can get very specific. And I'm not saying that if that's their profile, I'm not saying it's their profile, but if it is, I'm not saying that that they've got the wrong profile. It's just that not everybody who meets that profile is your bad guy. And so
let me tell you how they found these people. The first one was mother-in-law, not his mom. The mother at the house is not his mother. Luke. I don't know the relationship between Luke Daly and the mother and the son from the address that was the subject of the search warrant. But let me tell you how they find these guys, okay? They took a software suite called Gladiator. It's like the FBI shit, right? It's the shit. And Gladiator is a software suite that just do this real quick. Let's see, services.
So I'm sorry, Donna Clark, I was thinking the exact same thing about Brian Enton's smooth lips and his baby face. I think that's so funny. He looks like he's 7, but he's
my screen
or whatever.
Fucking wonky. I can't see anything. I can't see anything.
I can see you. Now I can see me.
You're the whole screen, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can stop the screen. Maybe I'll come back. Nope.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying. Oh, there we go. My StreamYard is screwed up, and it goes to a little tiny thing, almost nothing. And then I can't see myself to operate the situation. Can't see to operate the studio here.
Huh.
Let me see if I can try that again. You should see this forensics page. Yes, there. This is the Gladiator Forensics. This is the platform they use to find out what cell phones were near Nancy's address at what time and where they went. That's why you would end up with this Rodriguez dude, Rio Rico connection, is because he probably delivered something near the time or whatever in this area because he's a delivery driver. But they just got the wrong guy. And I think that's how they found this other dude's place too. So I got this from Chris McDonough himself when I sent a super chat. And I told him that they should have a system like this. And he says they do. And it's called Gladiator Forensics. And this is it. I don't know if you can read it, but if you just look up Gladiator Forensics, you'll find it for your information. Carmela, what's up? Carlos lives with his mom-in-law. Yes, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about let's talk about that. Adult Protective Services issue. Nancy may have mentioned issues to a friend. They called in a report, but if Nancy is of sound mind, APS can't force her to do anything, tell them anything. Correct. I agree. Yes, Carlos. Anyway, let's get back to let's kick this. This is a lot, you guys, to run a YouTube thing. It's not easy because there's a lot of shit to do. 71 is where we were.
Oh, they're
See that?
having to balance,
You did it.
do we think this meets the totality
Oh,
of the circumstances? And are we willing to tire our folks out, frazzle the public and things like that for another shot at another bite at this apple?
Yeah, and by the way, the sheriff confirmed today that it was a federal search warrant at that house last night also. Does that mean that a judge or a magistrate had to sign off? And does that mean that there had to be some meat on the bones?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. The FBI cannot just go out and write a search warrant for themselves and sign it. Actually, the FBI is different. They actually do. The agents write their own search warrants much of the time. They just have to bring it to a judge and have the judge or the magistrate sign it.
So there's an agent can just write their own warrant and go to a judge and say, "Hey, buddy, can you sign this so I can go raid somebody's house because we saw a ping of their phone using Gladiator?"
So this had to have, as you said, some meat on the bones. Had to have something that would give a reasonable magistrate, and that's a high bar, by the way, a reasonable magistrate the belief that they would find something related to this crime at that house. So it wasn't just some agent or some deputy getting together and saying, "Hey, you know what? We haven't looked at that house." It's literally thought through, shown to a magistrate, the magistrate agrees, and they sign it. So there was something there. There's no doubt about it, but it wasn't what they were looking for.
One thing I've thought about
How do you know that? He doesn't know that. How in the hell does he know it wasn't what they were looking for? It's impossible for him to say that.
Hi, Big Bird.
Big Bird! Thank you, Big Bird. Appreciate it. Have you seen the Luke Daily picture and evidence? He's the guy with the Range Rover and he lives at the subject house of the search warrant. So He's pretty close, right?
Carlos, the guy from Rio Rico, and we went out there too. He was saying how he was a delivery driver and may have been in that area where Nancy lives.
See, that's how they caught him, through the software I just showed you.
And we know
Matt be knowing shit.
that they're doing all sorts of cell phone tracking, and they can track I think they can track what phones have been close to Nancy's house.
Really?
Do you think that that's, you mentioned a profile, but could that also be a way that they are trying to narrow the scope here and come up with targets?
Yeah, I think that's very possible. And it's kind of funny. Investigators tend to have things that they rely on. Individual guy. One person may rely more on profiling information. One may rely more on cell phone information, something where they feel that they understand it really well. And some agents are really good at that kind of stuff. It's kind of like some baseball players are better fielders than hitters. It's just what you lean on. So it's possible that they're looking at that. At the phone records. But again,
they're not looking at the phone records, they're looking at the phone locations with geofencing technology from Gladiator. Chris McDonough knows all this shit, right? He's been in the business for like years, 30 years. You were shocked, Jamie K, at the overlay that I showed on Dolly Vision? It's true. I'm gonna bring it up in a minute.
It can't be just one thing. He was in that area. There were hundreds of people in the vicinity of that house, that night. So you have to line it up and get 2 or 3 at minimum other circumstances that also ties you there. You're looking for patterns.
So for a warrant that they would have had to get, since we know it was a federal search, you're saying they would have to have several things. Like how high is the bar?
It can be frustratingly high, I can tell you. You have to show that the person that you're looking at him for this reason. And you might say, hypothetically, his phone was in that area. He's made threats.
There you go. Phone in the area, man.
He has actually been in that house, possibly. He meets this profile, although I don't think a profile
Good to see you, Linda.
Is going to be admissible on that. So you would have to show actual verifiable facts that would indicate that this not only is this person involved, but the evidence of that crime would be found at that location. So it would actually be a warrant for the location, not the person, but the person who is living there you would have to explain why that house would contain it.
So the back of the Crab Rag Goose again. So the back of the Range Rover had to have the kill kit and all the stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Backpack and all that.
So maybe the fact that the sheriff is saying no arrests, maybe that doesn't mean that this is over in terms of what they were interested in with these people and with this house. I mean, could it just be they didn't, make an arrest yet, but there might still be some part of what happened last night that's useful?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's been some statement since then that I have not seen. I, like you, was up most of the night. I think you got less sleep than me, though. I think that what is possible is that they did.
Wait, we got the Big Bird dude and Big Bird in here?
The Bird dude. There's the Bird dude and Big Bird.
How does that work, Big Bird? Do you have a husband that's in this chat, too? The Big Bird dude?
Or we've got the Bird dude that likes birds and is a bird watcher.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's possible. Because
let us know.
Doesn't Big Bird have Baby Bird just like we have Baby Mab?
I don't know.
I thought.
Yes, she does have children.
She has a baby bird.
She's got baby birds, plural, I think.
Find evidence of the crime in the house. I'm not alleging that. I'm just saying that they haven't said that this was a complete waste of our time. We're sorry to the people. We don't know how we got this information. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that we've made no arrests. So it's very possible.
And I saw, because I was there, I saw the SWAT teams and sort of the initial, there's probably 24, and there was some FBI, but 24 law enforcement, I would say, in total that went first to the house.
That's 24 people.
They came out, the man and the woman. And then I would say about an hour later, like a sort of a convoy of FBI agents arrived in black trucks, but also like those.
Another 24. So you're talking 50 people. Hey, Deanna Reiner. Good to see you, Pitbull Mom.
Evidence kind of units that I also saw at Nancy Guthrie's house a couple days ago. What does that mean that they arrived an hour later?
It's a good question. I took it yesterday to mean in real time that this was a planned operation, that this was a lead that was generated, that was obviously looked at carefully enough. You have to go get a warrant from a magistrate. So it was something that they had planned to do. They got everybody lined up. And one of the trademarks of a federal operation is that the cars are literally lined up nose to tail all the way back. It'll be led by the SWAT vehicles if you're going to use them, and then law enforcement to set up roadblocks and stuff. And you'll just come in like a convoy. The fact that the convoy came in later, like an hour later, indicates to me that either that was part of the plan. We're going to secure the area, then we'll call you in after the interviews. That may have been part of it. Or it was a fast moving thing. And so while the area was getting secured by tactical teams, they were briefing up all the agents and detectives who were going to go in and setting up an ops plan. And then they came in once everybody was lined up.
If they took phones, can they hold on to those for a while?
Yeah, but they don't really need to unless they're looking for physical evidence on the phone. They can mirror those pretty quickly and basically get every single thing that's on that phone onto their drives fairly quickly. So you can return them, unless you're looking for physical evidence on the phone.
And we learned yesterday that they found DNA in Nancy's house that's not Nancy's DNA and not DNA connected to someone in her circle, or it's a stranger's DNA, it sounds like. So I'm assuming last night they would probably swab these people, their DNA, don't you think? Would that be something that would be important?
Yeah, and unless they had a warrant for that, it would be a voluntary thing. You have to get a warrant for buccal swabs and things like that, where they swab the inside of your mouth. So yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so they losing my voice here.
No, you're fine.
They would have gotten that kind of stuff, DNA evidence, things like that, anything they needed while they were there. And if the people were cooperating, you'd get as much as you can.
Yeah, and I guess if they showed up to my house and I had nothing to do with this, like what Carlos said the other night, why not let them do the swab? I mean, you almost want them to prove that, hey, I'm not the guy.
You help yourself if you prove to be cooperative. If you don't, because and some people won't, because they say you're invading my privacy, you have no right to be. I mean, I've seen this where you say you shouldn't even be here and I'm not even going to cooperate with you, and you say, listen, you're not helping yourself. This just means we're going to have to do it the hard way. We'll be here longer, please just cooperate. And but some people get and I understand, they get offended by the invasion of their privacy.
What about the public perception of this? Because after the Rio Rico search and sort of raid that we were out at, a lot of people were already being hard on law enforcement and the sheriff and the FBI, saying, gosh, this is like not a good investigation. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this was all a waste. And now we've seen another event where it hasn't resulted in an immediate arrest and it hasn't resulted in finding Nancy. Do you think they're taking that into consideration behind the scenes, or are they just solely focused on the investigation? Or do they realize, like, if they keep doing these raids without any thing to show for it?
Hey, Mab. I don't think he knows I'm up here by myself. And I can't entertain you guys because I'm not following this case like he is. And I'm worried about baby Mab. So, hey, Mab. I might have to walk away and go get him. He went to sleep. Hi, Starla. Thank you. Mab. Somebody way back here. Hold on. I don't think he knows that we can't see anymore. I'll be right back. Honey, you lost all of us. Turn that thing off. Technical difficulties. Something went wrong on one of the computers. So sorry, guys.
Sorry about that. My fucking keyboard wasn't even working. Sorry about my language. Everything just dropped. So, whoa! I have my mouse set up so that so that I can just go to one corner, and it does that.
We can't see it.
You can't see that?
No, it's just me and you.
I got okay, yeah, because I haven't reshared the screen yet. So let's get back to this guy.
So off topic, really off topic. Oh, okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
Somebody, I think it was Nina, asked me 20 minutes ago about my skincare.
Yeah.
And
Oh, those masks.
maybe. So I use those collagen masks a couple times a week. And I don't know, I really like them. I think they work a little bit. I'm in the sun a lot and have a lot of sun damage on my face. And so I think those masks help kind of give you a dewy complexion, but they're the quasi collagen masks. I guess you can get them on TikTok or whatever. I really like them. So that's what I use other than just regular like moisturizer and like better moisturizer at night, but nothing special.
Shauna, it's good to see you. I'm late. I haven't been on the past 9 days. It's been a devastating 9 days for our family. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. Need a bit of a distraction. I hope everyone's doing okay. Well, what's wrong, honey? You need us to pray for you? I hope you're okay.
What? Oh, I was way back in chat. So
Okay.
thanks, Jim.
Let's continue.
Going forward, it's not the same world where Walter Cronkite read the news and you just listened. It's almost like everybody has their own home game version.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. And you talk about the difference between the sheriff and the FBI too. I mean, the sheriff is elected, sort of has to keep people happy to a certain extent. There's a certain level of like politics involved, where he probably wants progress in some ways for different reasons than
be a boomer
than
like
the
me.
FBI.
There's no way I could run.
Yeah, my dad, coincidentally, when I was like 5 years old, my dad was transferred into Phoenix as an FBI agent. We were there exactly 18 months, and he was transferred to San Francisco, and then he was transferred to New York. I mean, you don't really generally bond with a community in that time. You just work your cases and go. And so, yeah, there is a completely different dynamic between the two agencies. And this explains some of the potential tension between the two agencies. Like, and I'm just speaking hypothetically, but last night, say the sheriff said, listen, we owe the people an explanation of what we're doing here. Let's do a release. And the FBI, who seems to be having more control of the case than the sheriff's department or sheriff's office does, says, we're not going to tell people what we're doing here. We don't want, people to start driving around and looking at this. We're just not going to make a statement. And the sheriff might have said at that point, you don't understand. This could cost me an election down the line. I have responsibility.
I think it already cost them the election, the next election, in my opinion.
And to be thinking about that, trying to solve a kidnapping is
right. That's
ludicrous.
How prosecutors are that way and sheriffs are that way.
Yeah, no.
More concerned about their damn image and political career than they are the cases and the stuff they were hired to serve us.
Didn't we watch a case about some up and coming lawyer that purposely buried evidence so he could get this murder conviction? So he could, and then he became a judge, and it came out like 18 years later what happened. And the guy was removed from the bench, and the guy that was in jail got out, and it was this whole big thing.
Like 20 years.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Abilities that you don't have, and those are the things that cause tension, and may have been part of the reason that the sheriff's department was so invested in sending DNA to a lab in Florida instead of sending it to the FBI lab.
Now I can understand that, because when Chris McDonough said, in his cases over the years, when they sent something to Quantico, it was like a black hole. It never came back. So I can understand why the sheriff is using his lab that he always uses in Florida to get his DNA done.
The fact that what we saw last night, you had the house hit, they went into the house, got the people, the two targets out. At the same time, they did the traffic stop close by with the other man, who I think...
Who's the guy in the upper left? Are you talking to me? I'm Mab Investigates, my whole channel. And I have a beautiful wife that's helping me, probably making me a soda right now because I ran out.
Yep.
was related to the people in the house too and had just gone to get food is what I'm hearing, but it
Would make
happened
sense.
simultaneously.
Right.
Why would they have done it that way? Like, why wait till that guy's out going to get food and get him and then get the two in the house at the same time? Why not just wait till he got back? Or it seemed like that was planned.
I don't think it.
I think that they were monitoring the situation on the scanners, and they knew that they were about to get raided, and that's why Luke took off in the Range Rover. That's my opinion, anyway. What do you want? You got a big, gigantic dog here, staring at me, hassling me. What do you want? You wanted in here, now you want out? Bam!
Hey, Lucas.
Animals run the house around here.
Oh my God.
FBI can get DNA tested quick in a national case, and so can the lab in Florida.
Everything else.
I know, and now he's barreling back in.
No.
Give him a treat to shut his ass up. Man. Okay. Let's talk about this some more.
Necessarily was. I mean, because if you can get somebody at their own home, it's a lot safer for everybody than getting somebody at a traffic stop at a fast food restaurant.
Ab does have his jammies on. You're only supposed to see the top. I'm professional. See, I'm not supposed to. You're not supposed to see that I have my jammies on. You're supposed to see the top and think that I'm like a dressed up dude.
You can put people in danger that way. However, when you're dealing with
would have been in my chonies. That would have been funny, huh? Just my underwear.
With 20-some SWAT operators and maybe 40 or 50 agents, deputies, and evidence teams, once that battleship gets moving, it's hard to stop it. And so when they say we're going to hit the house right at, say, 6:10 or 8:10 or 9:15, whatever, everything is moving and you just can't stop it at that point, except to say the whole operation's off. You can't just park 40 cars on the side of a major thoroughfare and say, we'll wait, because it's a Friday night. People are out. People are going to call. You're just tipping your hand. And so this is not unusual to say, hey, the person we were looking for just boogied. They likely had.
Yeah, that's right. That's the person they were looking for. What's up, Mab? Did you hear about the kidnapping in Australia? An 85-year-old man got kidnapped. No, I didn't hear about that. What is the whole world going crazy, kidnapping old people? What the hell's going on?
Had a surveillance team watching the house and said, hey, one person just left. And the case agent, if I were the case agent, would say, send somebody with him, follow him, let us know. We'll come hook him up wherever you find him. And so I think that's likely what happened.
I read that the sheriff said this morning that, and it's interesting when he does interviews, he says something a little different each time, it seems. But he said, this we could find Nancy in days, or this could take years. Which I thought was an interesting comment. What is your sense? I mean, they're obviously making progress. They released the photos, those photos from the camera. They're, doing these raids and search warrants. But do you think they're getting closer?
Do you believe that the sheriff said this could take years?
I think he's just trying to be realistic. I mean, sometimes they never find. Sometimes people are never found.
Prayers for Shauna in the chat, you guys, if you can.
Yeah.
We'll pray for you tonight, Shauna, and your family.
Yes, I think they're getting closer. And I think.
Huh?
I was going to say, Shauna doesn't have to apologize.
No.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I'm a spoiled dude, man.
Truth. He's a house husband.
I think I got the best the sugar mama in the planet.
I think the speed at which they're getting closer is rising. It's, you know, anybody who's done crossword puzzles or jigsaw puzzles realize that right at the beginning, you've just got no help. You know, once you get just a few words and stuff, you get the frame around it. Now what do we do? And I think they've got the point where they've got the frame done, and they're looking for a couple of big pieces. And once you get those pieces, everything seems to fall in line after that. And so I think we're to the point where larger pieces are going to start to fall. And I don't think this is going to go cold. I've been wrong in the past, but I just, there's too much out there for this to go very cold with today's technology.
Especially with that DNA that they found. I mean, that seems like, I think back to the Idaho case when they did the ancestral DNA. I mean, even if you're not in a database now, they can find your third cousin and then back in that way.
Yeah. Whereas I found I had a third cousin that I didn't know about.
And then you go through your trash.
Yep.
And you're busted.
It is sad.
So yeah,
what?
Angela says it's sad to even consider if she's never found. Same
with
the other missing people. I mean, I watch Kendall Ray a lot, and you know, another true crime lady on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And a lot of the cases that she talks about, people are never found 10, 15 years later. It's really sad.
It is. Cray. You're not in the middle of
Okay, you put me up again by myself. I don't like that.
All right. Let me get this situated. A lot going on these old YouTube streets. I mean, to run this thing.
You find all sorts of things out through that. And, you know, again, I'm like everyone else, I'm hoping that DNA is from the suspect. But it's not just that. It's the technology to pick up lost video from that Ring camera.
Yeah,
they are, and being able to find out where things were purchased. And I think that's going to bear fruit. I suspect you're going to find that a lot of things were purchased in the general area, and that helps you zone in on, you know, you say, well, this was purchased at that Walmart and this was purchased at that other store. And the only area where that Walmart is closest and that other store is closer than other brand stores is in this area. And so you start just zeroing in. And
I don't think they're doing it that way. I don't think they're doing it that way at all. I think they're doing it, you know what I'm saying? I think they're doing the Gladiator software searching with electronics. I don't think they're finding out who bought that backpack at Walmart. They sell hundreds and hundreds of those all over the country. I know there is an RN number on clothing that you can get, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think they're doing it with purchases, locating where they bought stuff.
And I think they're getting more and more zeroed in every day.
What?
Angela Salatino, yes. Look at the counter as Sebastian Rogers will be missing for 2 years. That dang proud stinky feet and the sour socks. They're in deep in that one. I wish there was some evidence in that one.
What was the FBI doing inside the house in terms of the search? And people think this is all going to be done like a CSI show so quickly. Like, how long does it all take?
An evidence response team full processing of a scene is not an hour or two thing. It can be days, if, you know, depending on how much time and how much access they have. About 5 years before I left the FBI, I remember I was assigned as a helicopter pilot for a while, and we had a body found at a national park, extremely rural. And I ended up flying evidence teams in there every day for a week, and they stayed 8 hours every day. That was for a single campsite. When you're talking a home where the amount of space that you need to process, like if you're looking for DNA, that could be as little as a skin flake or something like that. Now look at the room around you that you're sitting in, or your car you're sitting in, and find out how long it would take you to find every flake of skin in that room.
You gonna go search for him, Jim? Have you searched? You got a channel, Jim?
In that car. So it could be, depending on how exhaustive they're going to be, it could be days, it could be a week.
Would they be looking at these subjects, the people who they're questioning? How important would their criminal histories be in terms of forming a profile?
It's very, very important, potentially huge, because part of the profile indicates, oh crap. Part of the profile is based on their propensity to do this. It's not like somebody just comes out of nowhere and says, I just thought of something, kidnapping.
This guy reminds me of Comey. Jim Comey, was that his name?
Mhm.
FBI guy that's in trouble. Doesn't he look like him?
You know, I'm leaving art school, I'm going to try kidnapping. No, it's people who have a propensity to it, and they move in stages towards the crime. So in this case, what you potentially could be looking for is somebody who is a burglar, because kidnapping, especially out of a home, involves a type of burglary. And so you're looking for propensity and history of similar actions. And those things really are predictors of what the person might do, as well as skills they might have. So I would be very surprised, especially after looking at that video, if part of a profile didn't include histories of certain crimes that intellectual or intuitively I'd say would be burglary. But again, I'm not a profiler, so I could be wrong on that. But I would say that anytime you see somebody with a long criminal record, you are literally right in the middle of the profile for that person.
We saw a surveillance plane before all this went down. A fixed wing. It was high up, and it was circling. Do you think that was involved? How does that connect back?
Yeah, that was involved almost certainly, because as I said, one thing you never want to do is show up at a house where you want to do a search warrant and hook up some people and interview them and find that they're not home. You always need to make sure before you hit the place that the people you're looking for are there. So what they do is they put surveillance teams out, and these are really high-speed, low-drag units. You're not going to see them if they could be on you for days and you wouldn't see them. And one of
I don't think so. I'd see him.
the things they do is they have planes up, and the planes tell the people down below how to stay out of the view of the car they're following. They half the time during an FBI surveillance, the car that's closest to the person that's being surveilled is not even within sight of it, and the plane just keeps the cars close until the person goes into a residence or something like that, and then the cars can zoom in and pick it up from there. But that would indicate to me not so much that SWAT was using the airplane, although they can. It indicates to me, confirms to me that they did have surveillance on the house, and that plane probably, as that person left and went to the fast food place, went with that individual and 2 or 3 vehicles.
Yeah, the Range Rover went to whatever the hell that restaurant's called.
Was it Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out?
No. It was.
As always, I really appreciate Steve for chatting with me. I appreciate all of you guys for following along.
The world works today. It's a really interesting way. And
I'm going to get busted for this. This is the interview room, who I love.
what's interesting about it, you're the zookeeper. You study the gorillas. Okay. We have to
Or probably Culver's, yes.
get the gorillas on the other side of the glass.
We're not going to snipe stream Chris McDonough, unfortunately. Let's do something else real quick.
We don't have Culver's here.
No.
No.
Culver's we do not have.
Is it fast food?
Culver's?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one of those like burger joints where you can get
Lucas,
Good
come
job.
on.
What's he doing? He at the fucking door?
Well, I let him out and he came back in and now he's standing in the doorway staring at me again. This is what our dog does. He's 14 years old and he lives for treats. That's all
I mean,
he cares about.
he can't physically jump up on the bed, but if you give him a treat, somehow he just gets the strength that time to jump on the bed. But only do it if you give him a treat.
Well,
and we
good.
have
I don't
to
want
do
him on the bed
that.
anymore.
We have to do that when our lady that cleans our house once in a while, Maria. I've had her for 25 years. I think our house is the only house she cleans, right?
I
There's
don't know.
two houses,
I know she's retired, but I think she has maybe one other job.
one other house.
I don't know.
But my dog snapped at her one time, and she just cannot. She's too scared of the dog, so I have to have the dog in the bedroom with me when she comes, and she comes really early, so I'm usually sleeping. So
So our routine used to be, I get up, I feed the dog, he goes outside, and when I leave, I open up the bedroom door and he jumps on the bed and he stays with Mab until Mab gets up. But poor guy, his back legs are kind of getting weak, and so he doesn't jump up very well anymore, and his back legs will slip out from under him a lot. So he doesn't jump up there anymore. But when Maria comes, he has to be in there. And so, like a month ago, I brought a treat in to the bedroom, and he just perfect execution jump up on the bed. I'm like, oh, really?
yeah.
But now he hangs out by the back door. And when you get up to let him out, because you think he has to go out, he runs to the pantry door, which is where his treats are. So he makes you get up for a treat, but he doesn't get another treat. And he does that all day long. He's a
So
brat.
this is Luke Daly. Lives at the house, owns the Range Rover, was driving the Range Rover, was probably caught on Gladiator around Nancy's house at around the time that the crime occurred. And his face just happens to match up perfectly with the image of the robber in the video in front of Nancy's house. Okay, look at that. I mean, you can't get any closer. His eyelashes are such that it looks like he has eyeliner on. You know what I'm saying? You don't think so?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, because I think it's just way too hard to try to compare a mask.
But when we're talking about
Hey,
some,
I'm talking.
Go ahead.
You cannot compare the two. You've got a black and white picture at night with a mask, and then you try to superimpose that on a photo taken during the day. I just don't think, I think it would match on almost anybody that you put it next to. So, just my opinion.
Well, I disagree. But if that guy that happens to match the guy in the mask, his phone was in front of Nancy's house at the time of the crime, and
doesn't he live on that road? Is that what they're saying? Is that he lives there?
No.
Oh.
He lives about 2 miles away. But if his phone via the Gladiator software was found to be in Nancy's driveway per se, or on that street at 2 whatever in the morning when her pacemaker disconnected from her phone, and they find in the Range Rover the exact mask and tools that were used in the crime that were in the backpack.
Did they find that in his Range Rover?
That's what they're saying, is that there were burglary tools in there. It's either that or a body. Because
okay, so I didn't know that, because I'm not watching this like you are.
Let me show you a picture of.
Got a spider bite on my shoulder.
Let me show you a picture of what they did with the Range Rover. Let me see. Okay, so the FBI pulls over the Range Rover. They got a guy in here that's in a hoodie. Now they're starting to put up this tarp. Now they're opening the Range Rover door, but something in there is so important that they're tarping it around, holding up tarps so nobody can see what's inside. so nobody can take a picture of it or know what's inside. That's how important whatever that is in there is. And this guy was driving the car.
That guy, is that guy still alive?
Yes.
Okay. Then who died?
A random person, two random people died same night in the same area. They were both hit and runs.
Okay.
And that's the one Dolly ran up on.
Right.
Culver's. See, there's the Culver's sign right there. My mouse.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. I don't
I
really.
mean, come on, man.
Come on, man. Well, normally when they put up shields like that, it's because there's a body.
Yeah, the dude was trying to cover his face with the hood too. I saw that. They found tools. It's the Range Rover guy. Wonder if he knows Tommaso or his phone records connected to Tommaso. You know what I'm saying? I think we're closing in on the perp here. See what other pictures I got.
Jim, our dog he's got a skin problem on his arm, like his front leg. He constantly licks it. So it's almost raw sometimes, but the rest of his skin is okay.
And why are they towing the Range Rover? Why does it have evidence taped over the seams of the doors? They're going to process that car. And they're going to get DNA. And they may find Nancy's DNA in there unless he cleaned the shit out of it. And somebody said there was a lot of condensation on the inside.
Well, it's raining.
It was raining that day too.
So maybe they left a window open. My old car used to leak. Remember my old Camry? And every time it rained, the floor would get all wet and it would get all yucky in there.
And this is the map. That shows how far the ring cam from the house, right? Nancy's house. Glove. Huh?
Is Nancy's house where it says ring cam? Or Nancy's house is where it says Nancy's up at the top?
Up at the top.
So what's the ring cam?
Glove was found right here, like somebody threw it out the window. And then ring cam. Oh, ring cam is the other guy. There's another guy who was busted, who had a backpack, two backpacks the guy had, in a video that was shown with him trying to whatever he was. There's a video of a guy. You know how Ring shares videos?
Yes.
There was a video. Cool and Chris, what's up? Good to see you, dear. I used to call him a guy. All right. Let's see. What are we going to do now? Stop screen, share screen. There's got to be a way to put more than one.
Someone back here said that Mab must be a boomer because of the technology. And bingo, ding, 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 ding. Just barely a boomer.
A boomer, why? Because I do technology or I don't?
Because you don't.
Oh, I do.
But you're pretty good. You're pretty good. Everything's self-taught. Mab invented smart.
Mab invented DVR. If you want to know.
Yeah, Mab can pretty much do anything and figure out anything.
Except
when
for
he
how
puts
to
his
run.
mind to it.
Except for how to get a damn tractor started. That one.
Damn tractor. The thing's still sitting at that lady's house.
I know. I got to get on it.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Even if we have to buy a third fuel pump.
Authorities descended on a home less than 2 miles from the Nancy Guthrie home in Tucson, Arizona. 3 people are detained, we understand. They are being questioned in relation to the disappearance
There's the guy
of Savannah Guthrie's mother.
hiding his face. This guy here.
Joining us
That
now live from the scene in
passenger or is
Tucson,
that
Arizona,
Luke?
Fox News correspondent Max Gordon. What's the latest, Max?
Hey there, John. Well, it's been a very active night here in the Tucson area for law enforcement. A lot of developments in the Nancy Guthrie case. Let's get you up to speed. So this all started for us. We first heard wind of this at around 8:30 p.m. local time. That's when we were getting some rumors that there's some law enforcement activity very close to Nancy Guthrie's house. We drove on over here. It was only about a 5-minute drive, about 2 miles driving. And that's where we saw a very heavy law enforcement presence. That's where we later learned 3 people were detained, 2 males, and then 1 woman who is the mother of one of those 2 males, detained at a house in this neighborhood. This is a very upscale neighborhood. A lot of these homes listed on Zillow for more than $1 million. And since we've been here, over the past couple of hours, we've seen a lot of vehicles, law enforcement vehicles, going through this barricade. You can see behind me 2
SWAT truck.
SWAT team vehicles.
2 SWAT teams. If they find a body in a car, do they transfer the car with the body to the medical examiner instead of removing the body?
I think they removed the body.
I think they could do it either way. Now, if you are, say, you're AWP and you find a missing person that has died because their car went into the water and all the windows are up and the body is still sitting in the car, they will remove that car and take that car to the medical examiner's office to remove the bones.
But if you come up on an accident scene and somebody has been, somebody's deceased from a car accident, I believe they take the body out and bring it to the hospital.
But what if you have a body that is previously deceased, wrapped in a tar, put in the back of a Range Rover? Would they take the whole car to the mammy's office or not?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, in that case, I think they would because they want to preserve all the evidence.
But some people are saying in here that they actually saw somebody got shot of I think they do. They covered the car with a tarp. That's what they did in this case. They covered whatever was in the back with a tarp.
And I think for that scene, I think it was more just to keep the reporters and all the people that were there from seeing what was in the car. This is such a high profile case that they're just trying to, keep things private.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I'm just guessing.
Vehicles leaving the scene, and then several unmarked vehicles, potentially FBI vehicles, going on in, a whole convoy of them, really, as investigators comb through a house, we believe, in this neighborhood. It's unclear at this point if those 3 individuals that were detained lived in that home. It's also unclear if these individuals that were detained are actually suspects. Now, there is a second scene of interest. It's unclear if this second scene of interest is tied to the Nancy Guthrie case, but law enforcement, local law enforcement, as well as FBI agents have been on the scene of this second scene where a car was stopped in a Culver's fast food parking lot. Evidence tape was wrapped in evidence tape. 1 individual was detained in that instance. And this Range Rover, the silver or gray Range Rover, had its license plates covered, and it was then put on a flatbed and towed out of that parking lot. This is all based off of what our photographer on the ground was seeing. So a second scene of interest, again, unclear.
There they are with the tarp. They won't open that thing, and what's in there?
Clear if that second scene is tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This scene behind.
Oh, you can almost see. Is it up? Is the back up?
Behind us here, this
No.
home here in this neighborhood in the
Not
Catalina
yet.
foothills, it
They didn't
has been
show it.
confirmed tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. So in total, we've had 4 individuals detained this evening. Again, unclear if any of these individuals are suspects in this case. Law enforcement has released very few details. Earlier in the evening, it appeared that the Pima County Sheriff's Department was going to release a statement to us.
I'd make you a mod pit bull, Mom, if I knew how. I think you have to do it after in the comments section or something. I can't remember.
And then several hours later, they said that essentially they just had a law enforcement investigation, operations going on, and that the FBI had asked them to not release further details. So still a lot of questions about what exactly has transpired this evening, how all this relates to the Nancy Guthrie case. Again, everyone just hoping that Nancy Guthrie is still alive, but at this hour, many, many questions remain. Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much. Max Gordon reporting live there from Tucson. Let's turn now to Fox News contributor Ted Williams. He's a former D.C. homicide detective, also a defense attorney, joining us on the phone now. Ted, we just heard from Max that they are not saying there in Tucson whether this Range Rover that was seized from the Culver's parking lot is related to the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
Must be, because Pima County says the police scene is connected to the Guthrie case. And no more information is currently available, but they says that it's connected.
However, everybody who was there, or a good number of the people who were there, are wearing FBI jackets. I can't imagine that the FBI is looking into too many other crimes in the Tucson area right now. It would seem that Range Rover may have something to do with the Guthrie case.
Here you go. Just like Mab said.
Absolutely. I have to believe that this case of Nancy Guthrie going missing is the number one priority on all law enforcement out there. I've heard, and you heard our last commentary about the questions. What are the questions that I have for this investigation? I'd like to just share that with you if I could.
Please.
I'm hoping, first of all, that there's a press conference tomorrow.
Nope, not going to happen.
And that they will clear up a great deal of information that the public should be given.
Cool and crisp. Luke Daley, D-A-L-E-Y, is a person who lives at the house where the search warrant was served. He was also the driver of the silver or gray Range Rover that was pulled over in this Culver's parking lot. And he also happens to match, his face matches exactly the crime scene. I'll put the picture up again so you can see, but he matches exactly the crime scene video guy.
For
So
instance-
Pitbull Mom wants you to put that picture up again.
You want me to put the picture up again?
And then Linda says Luke Daley has been arrested and charged in connection with drug-related offenses.
Yes, he has in the past. Let's see.
Looking for that picture.
Yeah. All right, let's find it. This is him. This is also him when he's a drugged out version of him. He's got the little goatee and the mustache that you see in the video.
Yeah.
All right. Plus this guy. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect match for the guy that. Perfect match. I mean, perfect match. Same picture. Fat face, long head, like the guy in the video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced. And this is his car, and this is his car, and they're so concerned about what's inside that they have to put a tarp up. I've only seen them do that with dead bodies, but I'm told this is not a deceased person. It's something else, but it's something important enough for them to be covering it with a tarp so that the media can't see what's in there. And the guy who they detained that was driving it has his hoodie pulled over his face so nobody can see what he looks like.
I wonder if there were children or minors in the car, and that's why they were doing that. So that's
No.
possible.
Nope.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I doubt it too, but that could be one reason.
Do I have a
For
picture
privacy.
of that guy? I'm trying to see. Okay, here's a picture of the guy in the car. This is him hiding his face.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy that's, see the FBI and right
Yeah.
there,
Yes.
the bars. That's the guy, and that's the tarp, and that's the Range Rover. And they pulled this in front of them so that nobody could see. They pull a car, they pull this car, they pull this car, and then they pull the tarp. I mean, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to hide? This is FBI talking to him. Now they're going to look in the back with the tarp. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at this going, what the hell is going on? So I started snapping screenshots. You know what I'm saying? And they have this evidence taped over the seams of the doors and everything. Like they're taking this car and they're going to process the piss out of it, looking for DNA. This is what happened the other night with Dolly. Is that just a picture?
Yeah, I can see it.
That was the night that he. Wonder if I could find that captain. What is it called? At hotwire.405. The fuck happened?
What are you looking for?
I had X up here. That's crazy. I mean, I had X up here, and I had. Okay, so here's the guy. Got a hole in his glove too. You see this?
Um, Pitbull Mom asks if she can mention the creator's channel of the picture, but I don't know what picture.
It's called Sleuth Initiation or something like that. It's called Sleuth Intuition. He's the creator. Go sub him up. That's where I got the information about Luke Daly. He did all the work. Pitbull Mom is a mod over there.
Okay, so Michael Barron says the feds have traced the Ranger to Nancy's house through the key fob, or maybe through like the navigation system on the Range Rover.
And that was okay.
So that's
Who
interesting.
said that?
What?
Who said that?
Michael Barron, 5233 in your chat.
Luke is convicted drug trafficker with weapons and arrest charges. Feds have traced the Ranger to Nancy's house through the key fob. You mean through the GPS of the computer of the car, where it is? Or through the actual key fob? How does that work? I don't understand that. I thought the key fob was just to open the car. I didn't know it had any kind of GPS functionality. That's huge if it's a fact. That means it's
I
him.
think, yeah, I don't know how it works with the key fob, but yeah, you can probably trace through the GPS and the navigation system where your car's been.
Yeah.
Track anybody these days.
So
The Range Rover has a black box.
So is this Luke right here?
Well, it's hard to tell because you can't see at all. But if it is, he's not the brightest bulb.
No, he's a druggie. Some pictures of him and he's skinny, and some pictures of him where he's not.
Well, because I think there's two of them.
You think so?
Yeah, let's go pick up some detritus and put it over the camera lens.
I think he was trying to use it to slip the camera up off of its mount. So he's covering. So you see him try the doorknob there?
Yeah.
The doorknob's right here. Messing with the camera. Then he goes and gets the detritus. No.
I don't know what he's doing, or maybe he's looking for a key under a rock or something. That was my thought. Was like, how people have a hide a key.
Yeah.
If it's not one of those keyless entry doors.
So here he has the gun in the backpack. That's that one.
And then
here's
he's
the one where he's
weeds,
got the weeds,
which is like really.
Yeah. There. I think he's using the. I don't get it. He's using the weeds to try to slip the camera off of its thing, or what? What the hell he's doing with the damn weeds?
Right. Maybe he was drugged. I don't know. Yeah, crab
Small.
rangoon. He doesn't seem like
Brightest bulb in the.
he knows, like, kind of amateurish. If this was like
Here he is with no gun, no backpack, no nothing. Or is there two guys?
I think there's two. Because is that a gun or?
Yes. It's a gun, but it's a semi-automatic in a revolver holster. The holster is way too big for the gun. Look how long
That's
that barrel is.
A weird place to put your firearm.
Yeah, it's called a Mexican carry, I guess. That's actually supposed to go inside your pants, flipped around the other way. It's a right-handed pull right there. So he would pull from right here with his right hand.
Right. Kimberly Ann, yeah, we figured, he's trying to cover up the camera, but it's just the way he's doing it is so lame.
Yeah, totally lame. Okay.
Yeah, Angela, criminals need to keep their old vehicles running if they can be tracked using a key fob. It's getting more difficult in the digital age to get away with illegal activities. Amen. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to think a thought out loud, and your phone knows if you've been thinking about buying windows or blinds or.
Yeah, I could just have them.
Mab and I will talk about, like, oh, we need new blinds. Excuse me, or windows or something. And all of a sudden I get 5 million ads from Home Depot for windows,
Yeah. So they're monitoring your ass all the time. In fact, I invented proximal advertising based on geolocation. I got a patent on that, sold that patent. Invented BVR, sold that patent. Sold about 12 patents probably altogether. And that's how I pay my house off and stuff.
This investigation, one of the things we don't know, John, is really what was the motive. We know that
Money, dummy.
84-year-old woman that has medical illnesses was taken from her home. We don't know really if it was for a ransom, meaning that someone was asking for money. We know that 2 alleged notes, one sent to KOLD, a television station, and one sent also to TMZ. These 2 notes were asking for money, but we don't know the authenticity of those notes. This is information that has not been shared with us. We don't know if any ransom has been paid to anyone. These are very much question marks. John, you and I have been around a while. Normally, when someone breaks into a home, they break in for several different reasons: to commit a burglary, perhaps a robbery, or a kidnapping. If it is, in fact, a kidnapping, normally within a reasonable period of time, the kidnappers will communicate with the family or law enforcement where they are going and what they want.
Usually the kidnappers don't want police involved. They only want the family involved, and they want the family to pay them some money. They don't want FBI and freaking everybody else to know. So this kidnapping is way out of ballpark of normal kidnappings. Number one, because it's an 84-year-old woman who really doesn't have any money of her own. She's the mother of a wealthy person. Number two, if a kidnapper kidnapped Nancy and then only communicated with Savannah and told Savannah, do not contact authorities or I will kill your mother, wire $6 million in cryptocurrency to this wallet. And if you can't figure it out, ask somebody who knows, but do not contact the authorities or I will kill her. That's how you do a kidnapping.
Right. This is so
It's out
ridiculously off the script that
none of
that
has occurred.
None of it makes any sense because the ransom didn't even go to Savannah. It went to a news outlet. So,
doesn't make any damn sense.
I just got a message from Baby Mab.
What'd you say?
She said they are transferring him over to the Santa Clara Kaiser within the hour via ambulance, and I'm going to drive his truck back to Santa Clara.
As far as I know, it's just like lip or something.
His lip and plastic surgery on his lip and cheek. So for those of you that came in late, our daughter's boyfriend got bitten by his mother's pit bull in the face.
Right at the same time that I was supposed to go live at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, she called us right before we started, which is why we were late. And so he needs plastic surgery on his face. And so they're taking him to he's in the emergency room now, but they're transferring him somewhere else. And this, for some odd reason, this is the second time he's been bitten in the face by a dog in the last 3 years.
At a family event.
At a family event with dogs he knows.
Yes.
And he's a great guy. I mean, people are like, oh, dogs know, but this.
And he loves dogs too. That's the problem.
Yeah,
he probably got in his face.
It's awful. So I just want to answer her back here.
Right.
As we know from the public standpoint, I think that the law enforcement there are asking for the public's help. They need to share as much information as they possibly can. Now, granted, they can't share everything, and we don't want to know everything. But was they're kidnapping for money? Or is something else going on here that we are not cognizant of?
Yeah, and it's been said from the get-go that because those ransom demands came in, quite a few hours and I think even days after Nancy disappeared, that it's quite possible it was just some opportunist who thought maybe he could make some quick Bitcoin by putting in ransom demands, and might have absolutely nothing to do with her actual disappearance. Interesting, we were just watching the video of the silver Range Rover that has been taken away on a flatbed by sheriff's officers and the FBI. They were holding up a blocking tarp, if you will, so that the curious, the reporters who were standing there couldn't see what it is in the back of that Range Rover.
Yeah, that was him. Luke, right there.
Couldn't see what it is in the back.
This guy doesn't want to be seen at all. What's going on?
Of that Range Rover that they were photographing. What's the reason for that, Ted? Why keep that kind of, why go to that extent just to block the media view of what's in the back of that car?
Wonder what his answer is going to be.
But it may very well be that the perpetrator or perpetrators that are involved in the kidnapping of Nancy here, there may be something in that vehicle that they don't want even those individuals to know. I often believe, John.
What those infinite? What? What did he say?
Be something in that vehicle that they don't want even those individuals to know.
The individuals involved in the kidnapping already fucking know what's in the damn trunk.
Perpetrators that are involved in the kidnapping of Nancy here, there may be something in that vehicle that they don't want even those individuals to know.
Does that make any damn sense to you? What this guy's saying?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I was messaging Baby Matt.
Okay. The guy says that the reason they're using a tarp is because they don't want any of the perpetrators of the crime to know what's in the back of the Range Rover.
No. I just think at this point, I stand by my high profile case. They're just trying to keep things private. I don't know. That's my best guess of why they put the tarp up. But I don't blame Mom. If I was a perp and this was during this case and I got pulled over for some reason, I would hide my face too. I mean,
yeah, I
believe, John, that when we are on television like this talking about these kinds of incidents, that in many of these cases that the perpetrator or perpetrators are actually watching us to see what they can glean from what is going on. And that may very well be why they are blocking out and screening out as much as they possibly can right now.
Because some of the other perpetrators, it was a group of them.
Meaning law
enforcement. It never makes sense, man.
Enforcement, they're on the scene with that vehicle.
Ted Williams.
I don't know what's going on with that. The perpetrator or perpetrators don't want to see what's in the back of that Range Rover.
Fox News consultant, former D.C. police detective, homicide detective, now a defense attorney as well. Ted, thank you.
It's an idiot. Oh, can't play that. Whoops. Stop the show for a second. 72.
6 a.m. on the East Coast. We began with the Fox News alert. This is Fox and Friends Weekend. The desperate search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie entering its third week. Investigators are coming through every video and chasing down every lead, but still have not narrowed down on a suspect.
We are awaiting the forensic results from Friday night's massive police operation at a home that's.
Okay, if you can see my cursor, I believe it's this house right here that Luke Daley stays in, and the mother or whoever the hell that owns that Range Rover lives in this house right here. I wish I knew the address so you could look it up, and then it would show you through Zillow who owns it.
Just 2 miles away from Nancy's home. That operation led to 4 people being detained, but then released. While officials say everyone who was questioned is cooperating, there are still no signs of Nancy. We can expect more law enforcement operations in the coming days.
Authorities are now turning to the sky, implementing a high-tech Bluetooth scanner on a helicopter in hopes of detecting Guthrie's pacemaker. For the latest on the ground, let's go to Alicia Acuna, who is live outside of Nancy's Tucson home.
I don't think that's going to bear fruit because that signal, number one, is weak. Bluetooth signals are very weak, and it does not put out a constant signal. It only pings like once every so often to the Apple Watch, and then that from the Apple Watch to the doctor's office. You are the shit, my guy. I love your comments. Thank you.
Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning to all of you. Regarding that Bluetooth scanner, we have a couple of videos to show you of the law enforcement helicopter that was hovering over Nancy Guthrie's home. Fox News Digital found out that investigators were using a Bluetooth scanner placed on the bottom of the aircraft to detect Nancy's pacemaker. And this from February 3rd. It caught our attention that day because
You see a box on the bottom of that anywhere? I don't. Would have been on the skid right here. You know, on this upper part of the skid, there would be a box emitting or a receiver to try to find that pacemaker signal, and they'd have to fly like 25 feet off the ground, not 100 feet.
this helicopter was flying
Right. That doesn't, I don't see how they're going to detect that, but I don't know.
on specific areas around the property. This as FBI and sheriffs conducted a court-ordered search warrant on a home about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home on Friday. 3 people were detained at this location, and a man was detained at a traffic stop at this Culver's restaurant.
That brings it to 4. 3 at the house. I thought it was 2 at the house and 1 at Culver's. Now it's 3 at the house and 1 at Culver's. That's 4.
Range Rover he was driving was searched and
Didn't they say it was the mom and 2 men at the
Yes.
house?
But the other reporter said, now they just said.
And sheriffs conducted a court-ordered search warrant on a home about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home on Friday. 3 people were detained at this location.
3 people were detained at this location, and 4th at Culver's.
And a man was detained at a traffic stop at this Culver's restaurant. The Range Rover he was driving was searched and towed away by authorities. All 4 people were ultimately released. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos in a statement saying, "I'm guessing anyone at the residence was detained, but that is standard procedure to allow investigators serving a search warrant freedom to conduct their search. I was not at the scene, and I'm sure people were detained, but no one was arrested. And more importantly, no sign of Nancy was found." And that is the key point here as we enter.
How do they know that? They haven't processed the DNA yet. Once a month? That's going to be a long helicopter flight. Jesus. Holy shit.
What?
Jim said the pacemaker only transmits once a month. You're going to be flying a long time, really slow if you're going to catch that ping.
Can't hear the.
No, I know. I'm not playing it. I'm reading this
Okay.
comment. Just an opinion, nothing I've heard, but Nancy was a med teacher at the U of A, University of Arizona. Maybe he was a student. She failed, and he held this trauma for many years. Slight possibility. Very, very slight possibility.
Anything's possible
into
at
week
this
3.
point.
Yeah, anything's possible, but that's.
And then somebody mentioned something about Ashley Banfield's impeccable source did she taint the minds of the public, which is why the sister and husband are being considered. So interesting.
Well, she went after the family from day one. Ashley did. Yeah, yes. We're getting to that. Mom, yes, Matthew. Okay, Mom was at home with Matthew and who else? Because this lady just said 3 were detained at the house. I think they're just mixing their shit up. I want the pacemaker report for the days prior.
Is that Luke's home? That corner house that they were?
Yes.
So does his mom live there, or does he live there? Whose house is
His mother owns it and he lives there. Basement. Probably lives in the basement. Yes. I think I've heard that. You spit your drink out. Why? Oh, Lord. Way over his head. Yeah. Yes, they do. Pitbull mama. Yeah, it does send.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially people that are being cardiac monitored, it has to send reports more than once a month. I would think every couple of days. The other son, Luke, was on the way back to the house. Okay, but whose house is it? It's Luke's house. Okay.
Luke's home. He was not home. His mother and Matthew were there, and Luke was in his SUV and got pulled over at the Culvers just up the street.
It's raining.
Raining now here?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Uh-oh. Laughing at me? Okay, let's continue.
Of her abduction, there is no sign of her, even with 30,000 tips sent to law enforcement and a $100,000 reward for her safe return and arrest and conviction of whoever did this. Now, Rachel, you mentioned the sheriff has also said that they are still awaiting test results on the forensics that was done on that Range Rover and from that search on Friday. But as it stands, no arrests, no persons of interest.
Yeah, once that Range Rover DNA comes back, we might have something. Because if Nancy's DNA is in that Range Rover, Luke's DNA is in that Range Rover, and that Range Rover is Luke's, then we got a problem.
We got a big problem.
Somebody's got some splaining to do.
Back to you.
Alicia, listen, I want to hear a little bit more about what this Bluetooth scanner does, but more importantly, why the heck are we in week 2 and they're trying to locate her through the pacemaker? If they had that technology, why wasn't that used on day 1?
You know, Rachel, I'm not sure that they're just now starting to use it. It may be that we're just learning that they have been using it, because that video we showed you from February 3rd when they were hovering, that was 2 days after that she was reported missing. And it was striking, I will tell you, that day. And I think we even maybe talked about it on the air, because it's so low to the ground. Right. And it was just kind of sitting there. And we just assumed that they were searching, right? That they were looking for something. It never occurred to us at that moment that they could have something trying to pick up her pacemaker.
And so the way obviously this works is the way the pacemaker works. The pacemaker has its own power source, and no matter the condition of the heart or whether or not or the position of her cell phone, that Bluetooth is going to be pinging to connect with something. Kind of walk us through how that would work.
Yeah, and I for sure am not the expert on pacemakers. John Roberts, I do know, is, because he has one. But from what I understand, I mean, the technology stands on its own. It has its own battery. There isn't a concern that it is going to expire, at least not right now, in terms of the pacemaker battery. And then there's an app. It's connected. It's got its own homing device at the home. And we do know that that's separated. But
so what they're looking for is the signal from the pacemaker to the app on the phone. That's what they're looking for, not a monthly pacemaker signal and shit like that. Luke also has a tattoo on his right arm, looking at his Facebook. I've looked at his Facebook too.
in terms of how much they can gather in terms of locating her, perhaps this Bluetooth can help, because if it picks something up, then that's hope, right? That's
I don't think they're going to get her that way.
It's like your earbuds that are always searching, even if it's not connected to, Griff's phone.
Right,
My
and
earbuds are
telling
going to be
you.
like pinging to him.
So has this been going on? You said they started, you think maybe in day 2 using this. Have they been doing this throughout the last 2 weeks, or is there an uptick in this use?
So we did see them early on. We haven't seen a helicopter on a daily basis in that kind of pattern, that low to the ground, Rachel. But we do know that when there have been searches in other areas around the Tucson area, the helicopter goes out there. We haven't seen it because we weren't out there watching to see if they were also low to the ground and using that scanner to try and locate her. But that would make sense, right? If they believe that they're actually looking for her location and maybe not necessarily a suspect, that they would, use this scanner to try to see if they can pick something up. I mean, it's the closest thing they have to some sort of, location device that you have, kind of like what you have on your phone.
Now, if they used one of the military planes, drones that suck up every freaking electromagnetic signal on the planet that we're using over Mexico to look at the cartels and their operations and where they are, a Reaper drone, for instance, if they employed Trump cut them loose and let them use some of the military equipment they have, they could pick up every cell signal, every Bluetooth, every Wi-Fi, every electromagnetic signature there is will be present, and they will soak it up. And through their computer technology, they can find out where and what it is.
Yeah. Alicia, let me just ask you one thing about what Sheriff Nanos has told us yesterday, obviously about the operations that happened, but then he said also that expect more law enforcement actions. I'm assuming we really don't have any idea what that means. Is there any more detail you can add to that?
Yeah, I found that statement, Griff, to be very interesting when you consider we're 2 weeks in and we've seen law enforcement activity every day. Right. On this case, we've seen, members of law enforcement just walking the streets of this area. They've been searching in the terrain. They've been at this home. They've been at Annie Guthrie's home. So I wasn't sure if he meant we're going to see even more of that or if there's going to be something different. He did mention, however, that, we see a lot, and you've noticed a lot of the action that we've seen happens later in the day. And he kind of alluded to that when he said, they're working on leads and they're working on tips, and then we'll see them kind of the SWAT team, for instance, get moving. So that could be what he was referring to. But as far as I understand, ever since the day she's been missing, they've been working on this investigation.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah. All right. Alicia Cunha, thank you very much. We'll be checking in with you throughout the morning.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so with yesterday's frustrating end with the release of those 4 suspects, or not suspects, but subjects of interest, police are obviously left to this Bluetooth device search operation. But also, we're left with the original photos that we got about a week after from the doorbell cam. And we've got this first one. What's kind of interesting is you have these first 2, one where he's not wearing his backpack and one where he is wearing his backpack, leading people to believe that this may have been taken at 2 separate times. Obviously, police probably have, it's safe to assume, a better idea about the timing on that.
To hear him say that the evidence seems to conclude that they were taken at different times. Do you think they were taken at different times? One has a backpack on and a gun, and one doesn't. Of course they were taken at different times, you dumb shit. Good Lord.
People to believe that this may have been taken at 2 separate times. Police probably have, it's safe to assume, a better idea about the timing on that, but police have not released the timestamps for these pictures. In particular about the second one where he's got the backpack and he's got this very strangely strapped gun holster that is on the front, which is a place where most people do not carry, most experienced gun owners do not carry their firearm. What's also kind of interesting about it is it's a holster designed for a revolver, but it appears to be some kind of automatic weapon. Maybe it almost looks like some kind of Ruger 22 plinking automatic handgun. But what's also kind of interesting,
plinking. That's a semi-automatic pistol, like my ACP-45. Look, it's like a Glock or whatever. It's a semi-automatic pistol. It's not a 22 plinking gun. The hell, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Some kind of automatic weapon. Maybe it almost looks like some kind of Ruger 22 plinking.
Ruger 22 plinking.
What is a planking gun?
Plinking. where you go to the range and practice plinking. Who the fuck knows what that is? But this guy doesn't know shit. Listen to this one more time. These guys crack me up.
For a revolver, but it appears to be some kind of automatic weapon. Maybe it almost looks like some kind of Ruger 22 plinking automatic handgun. But what's also kind of interesting is if you look at the bottom there.
Blinking automatic handgun. Number one, automatics are illegal. Rifles, pistols, everything. There are no automatic weapons except in the military. Okay, so we can scratch that off right there. It's not an automatic. These pistols are semi-automatic. You have to pull the trigger for it to shoot. Automatics are when you pull the trigger, it just unloads the freaking magazine. Okay? Obvious, this guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Never had a gun, never shot a gun, probably never even seen a gun.
There, it looks like the end of the barrel is kind of sticking out. Plinking automatic.
Hold on.
Do not carry.
I got to slow this down a little bit. Let's get it on normal speed.
Most experienced gun owners do not carry
like you
their firearm. What's also kind of interesting about it is it's a holster designed for a revolver, but it appears to be some kind of automatic weapon. Maybe it almost looks like some kind of Ruger 22 plinking automatic handgun. But what's also kind of interesting is if you look at the bottom there, it looks like the end of the barrel is kind of sticking out of the bottom of it.
That would be a silencer then, my friend.
Which has led police to think that maybe this holster might be a very important piece of this. One thing that's interesting, I think Fox News Digital found this holster at Walmart, which is, but what's kind of interesting about it is this thing is black, and most of the ones that you're familiar with seeing are a tough black canvas, whereas this thing looks like it's white. That may be an issue just because of the lighting on with the way the doorbell camera changes the light.
Well,
but probably a significant piece of information that police are still looking for. And then, of course, as we talked about yesterday, also the backpack worn by this person in these pictures.
Sold at a gazillion places and bought by a gazillion people, and everybody has a gazillion of them. But you did take a Sharpie and black out this logo right here. Because you look at the logo, huh?
Huh.
See the logo up here?
Yeah.
He took a Sharpie and colored it in.
It doesn't look like the same.
It doesn't. They're saying it is, but.
Is an Ozark Trail hiker backpack.
Otherwise, you'd see that thing bright as day sticking up there right between the shiny part, up between this.
Right.
Little...
You'd be able to see that reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fairly commonly found. But as some of the detectives have pointed out, it is with online shopping, it's a whole lot more difficult to sort of pinpoint that because you can get that stuff ordered to you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
I think we already heard this one. Uh-oh, we got another expert.
What do you mean?
Infrared does flip colors.
What?
You don't think it's colored in, she says? She fell in love. She fell in love. That's a good name.
Because infrared can flip colors.
It does. It does that. But I still think it would have shown in that light. Someone ran from the traffic stop and was hit by a car, not shot, then hit again by a second car. Strangely, they have not released the identity of either. Are you saying Well, what I know is that there was 2 hit and runs Friday night. One was taken to the hospital and was named, and one was hit and killed. One was hit and died at the hospital later. He was named. The second one was hit and killed, and that's the one that Dolly stumbled upon, and they had already been deceased at that point. And of course, the vehicle was not there because it was a hit and run.
But what Dolly said he saw doesn't sound like the person was hit by a car.
What did he say? You know?
Didn't he say it looked more like someone took their own life?
No, he didn't say that. Someone did.
Said it.
Someone did take their life, but it was a separate incident, nothing to do with this. Let me see if I can.
Right. It had nothing to do with Nancy's case, but he was driving around and they pulled over and walked up to somebody, and it looked like they had just used a weapon to do some damage to their head. Right? That's what I remember, but I was kind of
find it. I'll find it right now. Keep them entertained for a second, and I will find it. So it's Hotwire 405.
Yeah, Pitbull Mom, that was a wacky night. There was a lot going on.
Okay, here's the guy who clipped it, Dolly, on Friday night. So you're going to have to scroll up until we find it. Then I'll share the screen and we'll listen to what Dolly said about what happened.
Okay.
Let's see. Today's Sunday, so that'd be 2 days ago, 6 hours. This guy has a lot of activity. FBI says DNA on glove matches subject seen in. FBI says DNA on glove matches subject seen in Nancy Guthrie security video. That's the first I've heard of that. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
So someone asked how Baby Mab was. So they went to the emergency room, but they have Kaiser insurance, and so they had to transfer him to the Kaiser hospital. And because he was agitated and his heart rate was high, they wanted to transport him by ambulance. So they had to get it coordinated, and I think soon he should be on his way from the emergency room to the Kaiser in Santa Clara, California, for the plastic surgeon to stitch him up. But he's doing okay, and Baby Mab's going to drive his car over to the hospital. I don't know. I'm hoping that they'll get to work on him tonight, because you don't want these wounds to start to mend in the wrong place, and then you just have to do more stuff. So
let's do something real quick here.
Okay, so Jay Anderson says Dolly lied. It was not a suicide. Okay.
Dolly didn't lie,
that, but it was.
He never said that.
So Mrs. Mab, Dolly did say that, but that was in the video he took down. Yes. Okay.
He never said it was a suicide.
Well, he said that's what it looked like.
He didn't say that either.
I remember that, and somebody else is saying that too. Dolly did say that, but that was in the video he took down, right? The one he was freaking out in. Since then, he learned it wasn't a hit and run. He didn't lie. He was just reporting what he thought he saw.
Here's what he said. Here it is.
Is this the one he took down?
Yes.
Oh, God.
You can't hear it.
Hold
I'll
on.
let you guys get in here. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, he says,
God.
I'll say it.
I'll let you guys get in
I'll let
here.
you guys get in here.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, guys.
Oh my God, guys.
I don't want to even tell you what I saw.
I don't even want to tell you what I saw.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I was
God.
not expecting that tonight.
I was not expecting that tonight.
You know when y'all see me running up?
You know when y'all see me running up?
There is an unalive person on the ground.
There is an unalive person on the ground.
On the ground.
On the ground.
Now they're reporting that there's an accident
Now they're reporting there's an accident
on the next street over
on the next street over
from where they're at. I took
from where they're at.
that whole video down. I don't know what the camera seen or whatever
I don't know what the camera seen or whatever
it may be, but there is a body
but there is a body
on the ground.
on the ground.
It wasn't covered. When they see me run up with
It wasn't covered. When they see me running up the
camera, they started to cover it up.
camera, they see me coming over to the camera, they started to cover it up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
My heart just dropped out my I wasn't expecting to see that.
Hold on. I missed part of it.
I wasn't expecting to see that. Cover it up.
Okay, okay.
Oh my God.
I was wrong. You don't have to play the whole damn thing.
I wasn't expecting to see that.
I was wondering why they were bent down.
I was wondering why they're all gathered around, bending over
in front of that truck like that.
in front of that truck like that.
And I was
like,
I think this is a traffic stop. I don't think this is
I think this is a traffic stop.
right. And I was like, hold on, let me run over here and see what they're doing.
Hold on, let me run over here and see what they're doing.
And
oh my God.
God, I wasn't planning on seeing that.
Guys, I wasn't planning on seeing that.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm in like total shock now.
I'm in total shock now.
This. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Look at all the police.
Thank
Look
you
at all the
guys.
police.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't know exactly where this.
See, there's the screenshot of where he was trying to go right there. Right here.
Honey, I'm not the only one that heard it. There's other people in chat that's saying, yeah, that's what he said, but he misspoke. And so that's why he took
No,
the
he
video
didn't
down.
even say that.
Show that. Oh my
Okay,
God.
fine. Fine.
My heart just stopped.
My heart just stopped. And that's when Tiff called him right at this time. He was freaking out. PJ was freaking out and they wanted him home. So he went home.
Boomer has no clue how to adjust the volume. The volume doesn't go
The
up on
volume
the
is just
video.
as loud as it goes. That's why I was listening to it myself and reciting it because you guys can't hear it. But if you go on X and you go on Hotwire 405 and you scroll down to freaking Friday night, you'll see it. You can listen to it for yourself. All right.
All right. Well, I swear that's what he said.
I
And
just played it, Angela.
I know, but I'm not the only one that thought they heard that. So either it
I
got.
thought at the time, because earlier in the stream, he was talking about somebody unalived themselves, like in some other incident, not related to this, but it kind of got stuck together somehow. It was just misunderstood or something. But that's all ancient history. Let's get back to what we were doing.
Thank you, Will and Chris. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's young and healthy, and this is the second time this has happened to him. And after the first set of stitches, you could still see the scar like the first year, but now it's been 3 years and you cannot even see anything. So hopefully the doctors will do a good job, and it'll probably be bad for a little while, but hopefully it'll heal up, and once again, you won't be able to see anything. So
Thanks, Adacor. I love Dolly. Dolly speak. Dolly speak.
Great to have you back on the program. You have such great insights, especially because this case seems unsolved. Can I just start from the very beginning here? Because I'm still very confused. This looks like a home invasion, at least on the face of it, gone wrong. Many people think it is. But if it is a home invasion, why would someone go into a house, presumably to burglarize it, something go wrong, and then take the body with them? Why would they not just leave the body there and get the heck out?
You know, that is one of the toughest questions to answer. You know, when you look at it, so, you know, I look at it from the eyes through a detective or say, behaviorally, what does it tell me? Well, the person is very comfortable being where they're at. What does comfort tell you? It's that they don't expect to be caught, that they maybe are familiar with the terrain, or they have a way that they have a way they know to escape the area, exfil from the area quickly. Now, what we don't know, and this is where the importance of the pacemaker is so vital. That's the best unbiased witness we have right now, which is at 2:10 when that pacemaker pinged. Did it show normal heartbeat like she normally has? Did it show she was in distress? Or did the telemetry show there was no heartbeat? And then that gives us an idea based on what happened in the timing. So yeah, to your point, why would it happen? There's most people that when they commit property crimes, you'll see burglaries during the day. They do it because it's low risk for them. They don't want anybody home. We've seen high profile athletes have their homes broken into. Why do they do that? Because they know they're at the Super Bowl or they know they're at a game. In this case, there's a confrontation. We don't know what started the confrontation. And this gets into why the sheriff said there was DNA found inside the house, but it was not blood. So that gets you to lead. Was there a confrontation where the mask was pulled off, the ski mask was?
Angela Sabatino, I'm glad you had the video. I took away from it that somebody was no longer with us, and that is true. It was an unknown John Doe, apparently. It was Jeff. Y'all can believe Dolly's BS if you want. You're about to get your ass kicked out, Jeff. Better be nice. Jenna Bug. Keep an eye on Jenna Bug. Keep an eye on him.
Pulled off and hair fell down. And that's
Dolly's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. And I've known him for almost 5 years, all right? I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're probably full of shit, way more than Dolly, okay?
It's the foreign DNA that we're looking at. That. So then you ask, why would they happen? There's one hypothesis is that once she pulled the mask off, she could see him, and he was scared that she would recognize him, and then maybe she was alive when they came out, and that's why they did it. Look, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but if you follow the facts and follow the blood trail, we know that the blood came out on the front porch down 2 steps, but the blood stopped at the end. So at some point, we know we're introducing a vehicle into it. Then a vehicle introduces a question: is there another person?
So you raise lots of really great questions there about what the pacemaker registered. And we don't know the answers to those, but we can be pretty confident that the police do have the answers to those questions, correct?
Yeah, and that gets back into the helicopter. Actually, when I was flying out here, a friend of mine who's uber smart, Dave Kennedy, you guys have had him on.
I just got modded up at Dolly's about a month ago. So I've been practicing, so I know how to mod, all right? Be nice, Jeff. Don't disrespect creators or commenters or anything. You can disrespect people who deserve it, but don't disrespect people who don't deserve it, especially in my chat. And don't disrespect my chatters.
on his trusted sec. Him and I testified in Congress together on healthcare.gov. We were going back and forth. How would we do this? Now, I know that the sheriff's office used a helicopter. We wanted to use a drone. And so David had already created, he's got a prototype working, because you have what's called a high gain amplification antenna on the bottom. A helicopter creates a lot of interference, sometimes electromagnetic interference, but that's why they're flying low to the ground. So the reason you fly low to the ground is that's low power Bluetooth. But if we know, and I'm sure this is why they're doing it with that pacemaker, it has a what's called a MAC address, a machine addressable, but that's the unique identifier for it. It's broadcasting. And so if Dave's already written the software, you can narrow it down to where that's the only signal we're looking for.
Wow.
And so what you do is you use what's called an omnidirectional antenna to scan a big area. Oh, I have a ping over here, then a directional antenna vectors you in. So that's what they're doing. They're looking for the way that the pacemaker communicates with the iPhone. That's the signal they're looking for. And those pacemakers can go for 10, 12 years on that lithium battery.
Have you ever seen a case solved by doing this?
That's right, Jenna Bug. We don't take no shit, especially if you talk shit about my boy.
No, not yet. But what's interesting is that the medical industry does this all the time. They look, well, what's our line of sight? What's our communications? They want to know, as they design these devices for safety and security, how far out can you go? Well, if I can see you, you can see me. Right. So
I mean, it's new technology.
That's what it's doing with that signal.
Yeah. I love how you call the pacemaker the witness. It's true.
Yeah, it is true. And actually, you know, when you talk about, you haven't seen a case solved yet with this, you know, Bluetooth sniffer, if you will. We have seen recent cases. We were pointing out that the Brian Koberger case took 47 days to get him. And in that case, it was the cell phone data that was crucial to the case. So our investigators obviously looking still into cell phone data, and can it be coupled with what they may be able to gain with the Bluetooth?
You're talking about two different things. One is the Gladiator software that they geofence and find out about cell phones, the cell phone towers, and Gladiator software. It takes those signals and runs them through an algorithm to find out where they are, were, went, was, where they go, what the patterns are for each phone. Tracking a ping of Bluetooth is completely different.
Yeah, actually, I've got a team working right now, 2 teams of 2.
I'm too smart for these fucking people.
Analysts, we're dumping all the data, but there's 2 things. So there's 2 aspects to this. One's called cell site location information. That's where you're looking at the phone itself, pinging the towers.
Right.
Say, hey, here's where I'm at. This is how they find your calls. This is how they find me in Tucson. But the problem with that is you have to subpoena each carrier individually. There's no nationwide dump. So you have to subpoena each carrier individually. The difference between that and ad tech data, ad tech is your mobile devices on your phone, and they're pinging. How does my phone know I'm in Tucson? Because one of my apps are pinging, giving my information back to advertisers. Well, advertisers,
no, they're not.
On those apps, sell it to a data aggregator, which is lawful. Just want everybody to understand It's lawful. When you download an app, you say, yes, I agree to do this. What we're doing now, we can do.
This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Everything that happens on your cell phone goes through your fucking router and your either cellular, which goes to a server. All the information is packetized, and each packet has information on the front and the back of it. I know because I've done inventions on it, and that's how it works. So you don't ping your apps on your phone, have no ability to tell where you are. The phone is what you can find, not the apps. This guy's an idiot.
What the cell site can't do is we can take a dump of an entire area regardless of carrier, and what we do is we look for patterns of activity. So back to your point about,
I just told you that with Gladiator, right? Didn't I just tell you that?
About do we see ingress activity? Do we see people staging, which is we found an interesting cluster about a half a mile from where the glove was found on the side of the road. I don't know, I'm not connecting them yet, but it was interesting, which that location is 400 meters from Nancy's home. So we're looking at taking that data, but that's what you can do with ad tech data.
We're looking at, is this guy involved in the thing? Or is he just commenting on it?
Can't do with cell site data because we don't need a warrant for that. We put it all together, and now we've been crunching We've now gone back 6 months and dumped a ton of data, which gets into a really big file. But we've got what's called a retrieval augmented generation, the RAG. So we're actually using that inside AI engines to look at human behavior. Is a person walking? So I could tell the difference between if you're walking or in a car. Well, that gets into your point earlier about how would they get out of there, right? So even with Kohlberger, he turned off his phone and then turned it back on. That's actually a behavioral clue that shows also consciousness, but it shows, but it tells me, it tells that absence is also evidence to say, okay, he stopped here, but that's the behavior we're looking for. Which signal came into the area, shut off, waited. We know the time frame. That's why the narrowing the timeline is so important. And then it turned back on. Now we can say, oh, that's a device of interest. Let's track it.
Morgan, this is just
most of what he said is correct, except for the app shit. He didn't know what he's talking about. When can you join? Join what? My channel? You already are. When can I join? Someday I'll get monetized. Then I'll have like a little club.
absolutely fascinating, and we look forward to digging further into it as the show goes on. Great stuff, Morgan Wright.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian
I'm Brian Kilmeade. This here's old JLR. He's got a tripod up here. Is he still alive? Let's see. How many hours? Let's see. He's at 10 hours and 43 minutes. So he's going to have to start another one pretty soon, or this might be the end of it. Yeah, I think the end of it.
Thanks, Turtle King.
What?
She says,
I know I'm not monetized.
the best hair.
This is Mab's the best hair. Thank you. This Mr. Mab doesn't have any hair. I am not monetized. I know that. I'm not making any money. So this is like nothing happening. I don't get it. What I don't get is why there's 100 people with spending thousands and thousands of dollars all lined up, all up and down the road to have their cameras pointed at an empty house and just sitting there doing nothing. I think the police department and the FBI have played the media so well in this case that they have media all lined up at one fucking place, all of them in one place, with all their cameras all scrunched together, pointing at one house, nobody in it. And there's nothing happening. I think the big story was a pool guy showed up and did some shit. That's it.
So they're all at Nancy's house? They're all lined up at
They're all
Nancy's?
fucking camped out in front of Nancy's house.
Yeah.
Unless he got another stream going on or something. Dad's Gone Live. This is another channel that is in the area. Whoops. I almost screwed up again.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Heather, whatever. I know, same with Mab. He's up.
Let's see my next.
What?
Heather, whatever, says she hasn't slept well in 2 weeks. And
I know. Dad's from Bakersfield. I know. Dad's Gone Live from Bakersfield, California.
Guest who, along with other local news outlets, has been receiving letters allegedly coming from someone who knows the kidnapper, even the kidnapper, potentially. Let's bring in TMZ founder Harvey Levin. Harvey.
Oh, Harvey's been on the case, I'm telling you. He's getting all the letters. He knows everything. He's talking to the FBI, and he's talking to the sheriff and everything is going through old Harvey here.
Boy, this gets weirder and weirder day by day. And this morning we wake up and we find out nobody's been arrested, nobody's in custody, but we had a ton of police activity just 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's house, potentially within this 2-mile radius that the police have been asking for doorbell dash cam video. First, give me your quick observation on where you think we are this morning.
I got to get a new Cash App because my current Cash App and Venmo doxes me, so I have to. That's my next thing to do. I already got I got an X account, I got an Instagram, and TikTok, but I do not have the Cash App or the Venmo that doesn't dox me because it's my name in there.
So Cool and Chris said that she's got to go. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, Cool and Chris.
And thanks for checking up on Baby Mab. We will keep you guys posted.
All right, Cool and Chris. Good to see you, sweetie.
Does this feel like a letdown?
Well, it's a letdown because they haven't caught the kidnapper and they haven't found Nancy Guthrie. I was in touch with the law enforcement involved in this early this morning, and I asked them, is this in any way tied to the information that we have given the sheriff and the FBI? And I was told no. And, as for, what happened, it doesn't seem like they've kind of connected the dots. It was interesting. Yesterday morning, I sensed something was going on with law enforcement, that there were meetings. They have these kind of morning briefings that were going way longer. I just happened to find out about one of them way longer than they normally did. And, I figured something was up, and they were.
You got some rat inside the police department, don't you, Harvey?
Also playing everything really close to the vest. It may have been this, I don't know. What I can tell you is that the FBI is keenly interested in the ransom note that we received.
Oh, they're so interested in it. They're just creaming their pants.
And I know this to be a fact. They are keenly interested.
Oh,
obviously, I mean, we supplied them with it.
We supplied.
And you can connect the dots if you will, but I am 100%.
So
they are extremely interested in this ransom note, and they're also interested in the person who has now sent us 3 emails saying in return for money they will lead authorities to the kidnapper and Nancy.
Let's dig into that for a second, because this is fascinating. This person claims to know where she is, or at least who the kidnapper is, and is willing.
Is Helena M in here?
So it's me. So it's me, Shauna. Sweetie, I don't really know what you're talking about here, but you can make comments.
You're talking about Shauna. You guys are talking about getting unblocked from Dolly Vision or something by the PJ Vision. Ain't got nothing to do with this channel. Shauna was blocked? I don't think Shauna would be blocked from Dolly Vision.
Not here, but I mean, it happened a while ago, but
you're not going to be blocked. You're not getting blocked for that. If anything, they would delete a comment if they misinterpreted a comment. But you're not blocked.
I think it takes quite a bit to get blocked in most.
Yeah,
so
most
far,
of it's going to happen. They're going to block. They're going to time you out for 24 hours if you're really an idiot, and you're not.
And that rarely happens.
Yeah.
Most people in our chats have been incredibly
accidentally
supportive and nice, and every once in a while we get some kooky comments, but rarely.
When you're modding, let me explain that. When you're modding in the chat and there's like 8,000 people in the chat, it's going so fast that if you're on an iPad or something like I was on, and I was modding my ass off the other night, blocking people, putting addresses in the freaking chat and everything. You were there, remember?
Yeah.
And sometimes you hit it, you're trying to hit the thing as it's going up the freaking screen. And if you hit the wrong one, you accidentally hit remove, and it removes a comment of somebody that accidentally, and it can't be undone, and they think they're getting blocked or something. Not happening. That's how it works. People are trying to do the best they can to keep, the streams going right. You're
Willing to
good.
pay 50,000, or is willing to receive 50,000, half of the reward first, and then half of the reward later. Have you heard from this person since we saw the activity happen overnight? Are you expecting to hear from them again?
Well, if you take him at his word, I am not expecting him because he ends his email to us. Let me just read it if I can find this part. He said that there's going to be no communication, that they are done talking. So he says, let me just find this. I apologize.
And he said that before,
I
right,
did say
Harvey?
yesterday was my second and final attempt, but you upping the reward to discredit me is a lowball move. 3 strikes and you're out. So he's saying that he is not going to get back to us again, but he said that the time before and did.
Would you put up that money just to
I
see
think
where this goes?
I think it's really inappropriate because based on what we know, we could be interfering with law enforcement. They are not just sitting back.
TMZ's not putting up the money. That's for damn sure.
There's a reason that this $6 million ransom has not been paid. And there's a reason why the Guthrie family and or law enforcement has not paid the money. I don't know what that reason is. Personally, I'm puzzled, but it's very clear to me that they could do it if they wanted. And if we got involved in that, I think it would be highly inappropriate and could actually impede the investigation. There's something, obviously there's a lot they're not telling us, but I do know they're really interested in this. So we're just kind of following along and passing the information on. A couple of things that really stand out in this email, this last one, is that he says that if the FBI gives them the first $50,000 payment in the form of a Bitcoin, they will immediately give the name of the main individual along with his information for you to track.
I could do that right now. Luke Daly. Where's my money? Where's my money? I want my money. Give me the money. I'll even send you the wallet address.
Show me money.
Interesting that he says main individual because that suggests there's more than one person.
Really?
Yes, it does.
He also talks about the fact that he feels this could impact his own freedom, which also makes it sound like he's worried they might implicate him in this kidnapping, that he's kind of close to it in some.
He knows who the kidnapper is, and he's worried it might get, he's involved.
Form. But he ends, and this is particularly interesting, that the main individual that he says he can lead them to, he said, be prepared to go international.
Wow.
So
what's that mean? Mexico?
Canada?
Italy?
Mexico?
Italy?
Again, if this is authentic, he's got to be talking about Mexico because where Tucson is, it's not that far from the Mexican border.
And I appreciate that you're saying if this is authentic, because you yourself, you're not sure if this is legitimate. This could be a scammer because people are coming on TV left and right and wondering, have you become a honeypot for scammers, whether they're overseas or whether they're local? But you're telling us the FBI is taking these letters seriously.
We've gotten, other emails as well that are pretty easy to discredit. They are taking the ransom letter extremely seriously, and they are taking the this letter asking for the reward in return for identifying the kidnapper, they are taking that seriously as well.
Okay. Harvey, thank you for sharing that letter with us. And any more information you get it to us as quickly as possible. We are trying to figure this all together. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Emily Campagno. Hey, it's Emily Campagno.
What are you watching?
What they're talking about here is the FBI. The first clip is Savannah Guthrie talking about her mother, Nancy. The second clip is from the movie Silence of the Lambs in 1994 with Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Why are they talking about that? Oh, your audio just went out.
Mine?
Oh, okay, no, it's back. It just went garbly for a second. Thank you, Jenna Bug.
Okay. Let's put the picture up again.
What picture?
This one.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect match. It's a perfect match. He owns the vehicle, the Range Rover, that the cops were tarping up so we couldn't see what was inside. Not a dead body, but something else. And he was connected to the house that was subject of the federal search warrant. Okay? So this guy right here is my best guess is someone to be involved with this case.
Huh.
Yeah. Let's see. There's another one of them without the comparison. Same shaped head, everything. And they're hiding something there from the. He's looking at something. This guy here is looking down and going, "Oh my God, look at this! What's Luke have in his car? Oh my God, something's up. What's happening here? Let's cover this up, tape it up, and just seal it up and send it to the forensics unit. Let's put it on a rollback in front of Culver's. Get it the hell out of here before the media sees it. Oh my God. Oh my God. There he is, covering up his hay inside there. FBI. They're bent over talking to this dude. They're very interested in old Luke Daly. Get the tarp out, started covering it up. And there he is, and there he is again. And there's that tarp, and tarp. And what was I looking at here? This is inside the vehicle. Just this little piece of whatever is what I could find. inside the deal. Yeah.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just want.
She looks like she's been through hell.
Yeah, it's really sad. I can't even imagine.
This poor woman looks like she's been through absolute hell.
Wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
Damn.
So sad. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
Heather, whatever. I mean, could you
showing
imagine
a
somebody
segment
breaking into your
that aired
house?
on the Today Show.
What?
Heather, whatever just said is all I know is Nancy would have been so scared to see any person in a mask
I know.
in the middle of the night coming into your house. That's terrifying.
Totally terrifying.
Mm.
Show in November, which really isn't that long ago, showing footage from Savannah returning to her hometown of Tucson and being with her mother, Nancy. The Daily Mail is reporting that some at NBC are worried about this segment. It was a homecoming special that they aired. I mean, I have to say that's the thing about like these morning shows, and having been at the Today Show for a year, they really want you to put your personal life on the air. They press hard for you to like reveal very personal details about your family, your kids, your marriage, your mom, your all of that. There's zero doubt in my mind Savannah felt that too. And here's a clip from what aired.
Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you had been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita? Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
Love you.
Now, what they report in the Daily Mail is that this is a quote, there's a lot of soul searching at NBC about whether their segment made Nancy a target. A Today Show source told the Mail. The segment did not feature Nancy's home or disclose details about where she lived, but after this week's events, people around here at NBC, this is a quote, are going to think twice before putting their family on television at all. Man, that's a dark thought.
Yeah. So with that thought, years ago when I was like 20, I worked as a bank teller, and one of the girls at the branch, her husband was a police officer, and she was in the back a little bit, and she had a picture of him in his uniform on her desk, and they made her take it down because she could have been a potential target, like for bank robbery, because her husband's a cop. And so, yeah, they didn't want anybody having personal information where the customers could see pictures of your family or pictures of your husband on your desk. So, kind of find it kind of surprising that they would be pushing for things like that for high profile people.
Teamies, hello. Yeah, crazy. This guy right here, the sleuth intuition, is where I got the pictures from. Appreciate him. Go over there and sub him up. My final play is this rabbi that I saw. I don't know. It kind of touched me a little bit. This guy. I don't know why. Jewish. That's
Honey, we can't see it.
Whoops. I fucked up again. Damn it. I almost had the perfect stream there for a second. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jinnabug.
It's been 10 days since the kidnapping and abduction of Nancy Guthrie. Everyone in the United States of America paused, and throughout the world, to listen to the pleas of Nancy Guthrie's family for her safe return. This morning, the FBI released images of the intruder and the potential suspect who may have abducted her and kidnapped her. But the world is aghast. We're angry. We're disappointed. We're hurt. We're devastated.
Yes.
What human being has the means and the ability, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, to abduct an 84-year-old woman in her sleep? What comes to mind is in the 10 Commandments. We go through the 10 Commandments. One of them is, thou shalt not steal. And some commentators reflect it means stealing humans, kidnapping people. Kidnapping people. You shall not steal a person. God put that in the 10 Commandments because God knew that mankind, left to their own devices, can go astray. As terrible as it is to abduct and kidnap a live person, a human person. And that is why God said, thou shalt not steal. Well, what is our takeaway from this? The night that Nancy Guthrie was abducted, I put out a video, a segment, and I spoke about the concept that everything that happens in life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, if it comes to your attention, the event that occurred, it's by divine providence. That we need to take a lesson. We need to learn from everything we see, everything we hear. Everything comes into our presence. We are to take a divine lesson from it. There is nothing that happens in this world by chance or by...
Is he missing 2 fingers? This poor guy lost 2 fingers in his life.
Or maybe they're just bent over and he can't straighten them because his other finger is kind of crooked too.
Maybe.
Accident. Everything is meant to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is certainly the bad, and this is certainly terribly ugly. The value of life. Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, an elderly woman with a heart condition, in the middle of the night, was kidnapped. The world is standing in suspense, praying for her return. And that was the very first takeaway that I presented in our YouTube channel, is encouraging people that when a situation seems to be helpless or hopeless, there is something that we can do. And we can't just say we're helpless, and certainly we cannot say we're hopeless. We're not helpless because there is a God. There is a God in heaven that is fully present, omnipresent, omnipotent, was, is, and will be. The God that created all of us, the God that created the world. He is fully aware of the anguish, the pain and suffering that Nancy's family is suffering, and we are all suffering from her abduction. But the fact that it came to our attention, we began to pray. And that was my first call to action, because there's not really much that we can do, other if we see something, we say something. But what we all can do in our own way is pray to God. Maybe this is a wake-up call to all of us to remember, when you feel helpless, when you feel hopeless, it's not the end. There is a God that's listening to you.
Amen.
As a little child, I was taught by my rabbi, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the grand Chabad rabbi.
Don't ask me to repeat that.
Who was leading the Chabad movement from 1950 through 1994 upon his passing. He left us children with a timeless mission. There are 12 verses that he chose, that he handpicked, that as children you should study them by heart. You should know these 12 verses by heart. And as I was a child, it was a task. We studied them in Hebrew and in English to know them by heart, to recite them at every opportunity possible. One of those 12 verses was a verse taken from the mysticism, the books of Kabbalah, the book of the Tanya. And the verse states as follows: Behold, God is standing over you, is looking over you, and knows exactly what you're thinking and what's in your heart, and is watching to see if you are going to be conducting yourselves appropriately. This thought, this concept that God is always present. God doesn't sleep, does not slumber. God is always here with us, and he's always looking over our shoulder. There's no question in our mind that God is aware of Nancy's abductor. We don't know why does bad things happen to good people. We don't understand why God allowed this to happen. But that's not our place to question God. Who are we to question God? We're humans, we're finite. God is infinite. But what we can do is we can choose how we react. We cannot change what happened, but we can change how we react. And the fact that it's been 10 days and Nancy has not yet been returned to her family. Today, we saw the image of a human being breaking into her house. It really brings to our mind, it really personifies this whole event as not as a divine event, but as a human event. Someone took their time and effort and energy to do something terrible. And it reminds us that each one of us has free will. We can choose to do good, bad, or ugly. God gave us that free will. Every day we wake up, we need to ask ourselves, today is going to be a day that I'm going to be doing good for the world, for humanity, or am I going to be doing bad and ugly for humanity? The reason why we saw the face, the masked face, obviously this person knows to hide himself because he knows what he's doing is wrong and it's the antithesis to anything of life and humanity. This subhuman who woke up 10 days ago and decided to inflict this torture and pain on Nancy and all of her family members. It was a choice. It was an active choice. And please God, we'll be able to find him and bring him to justice. More importantly, we'll bring Nancy back safe and well to her family to be reunited. But until then, our takeaway is never give up. Never be hopeless. Never feel helpless. Always know that God is ready to listen to our prayers. God will listen to your prayers, even if you did not grow up religious, even if you did not grow up with faith. Now is a moment that you can look up to heaven and pray to God. The way we pray, you don't need a prayer book. A prayer book is just a suggested, recommended prayers. But you pray to God by talking to God like you and I are talking to each other. You can look up to heaven and say, God Almighty, please return Nancy Guthrie back home safe and well. God Almighty, please help the world. God Almighty, let me be your ambassador to bring light into the world. That's prayer. And prayer in Hebrew means the word tefillah, which means connection. When you talk to God, you are connecting with God. When you and I talk, we are connecting with each other. You have the ability to pray to God. So in honor of Nancy Guthrie's return, I plead with you, say a prayer. You could do it privately, or you could do it publicly in your house of prayer. Say a prayer for Nancy Guthrie. May God return her home. And pray to God that this is a beginning of your conversation with God. This should be a daily experience, praying to God. When I grew up as a little child, I was taught that when you wake up, the very first thing you say in bed, you say, thank you, God, for giving me my soul back and having another day to serve you. Include God in your conversation, and God will include you in his conversation. So let's all hold our hands in prayer that Nancy Guthrie gets returned home. Let's hope that this image that we saw today will be caught and brought to justice. And let us turn this tragedy, this darkness, into a ray of light. Let this event be an inspiration to all of us to never feel hopeless and helpless, and to always know you can always pray to God, and God will always listen to you, and he will answer your prayers. And through you praying today, all of our prayers together is like a little match that forms a huge torch, a flame of prayer that will ascend to heaven, break through the gates of heaven, so that Nancy Guthrie can be returned home safe and well, and the whole Guthrie family can be healed from this terrible tragedy. God bless you. God loves you.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mab.
On that note,
On that note,
we say,
we got Lori Shortlegs in here. We've got Dolly Good in here. Thanks, guys, for showing up.
on that note, we say, Heavenly Father, you know it. Say it.
Heavenly Father, we pray,
Hallowed be thy name.
thy kingdom come
Thy will be done
on earth.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
and lead us not into
Forgive
temptation.
us our trespasses, as we forgive those who
Those who
trespass
against us.
against us. And lead us not into temptation.
Deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys. You guys be good. And you know, the Mapsters love you. And we'll be back. You're not working tomorrow. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another show with you lovely people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.